Can support us completed novel house in link below clip. Thank you for coming and love the sharing story chapter 1601, major international news. The next day. The Lucky Medals countdown duration, still 32 hours to go. At the studio. A lot of reports were coming in. Director Zhong, we've sold 10.8 million copies. Good, very good. Director Zhong, we've been contacted by someone from Portugal. Director Zhong, a Korean publishing house has also contacted us. Director Zhong, several translators from Japan have approached us for an opportunity to cooperate on the novel. They're looking to translate Gone with the Wind? Yes. Let them do it. Great. In that case, it shouldn't be long before the translated versions of your novel are sold all over the world. I'll go and hold talks with them. On the news. The multilingual editions of Gone with the Wind were announced, and they would gradually be making their way into the markets. A storm called Gone with the Wind swept across the globe. The characters in the novel. The plot. The symbolism in the book. They were all broken down and thoroughly analyzed. All of a sudden, it spread throughout the world. When a novel gets extremely popular, the impact it has can also be astonishing. North America. Many black people came out onto the streets. A lot of white people also joined in the protest. Abolish the Exclusion Act. We demand equality. Reject racial discrimination. The appearance of Gone with the Wind had turned the pages of history to its darkest times. Numerous people were holding up the novel Gone with the Wind and protesting against the last remaining bill from years ago. Russia. Many citizens were out on the streets. Say no to war. Halt the use of military force. We want peace. Open the peace talks. More and more people were joining in the protests as the crowd size exploded. They were holding up signs with quotes taken from Gone with the Wind as their protest slogans. India. Countless women launched their protests. Please respect women. Reject discrimination. We want equality. We want respect. We want freedom. Bring all criminals who humiliate women to justice. Bangalore's team. They also saw the crowds protesting in the streets. Damn. Why is it like this? This book's influence is too massive. Has the Chinese writer really become our competitor? How's Embers of Humanity's sales doing? Gone with the Wind has left it in the dust. Within the Japanese writers' circle. What? It sold over 10 million copies? How is that possible? What sorcery is this? Does he really intend to charge towards the Nobel Prize in Literature? Only the old masterpiece novels have had such influence. How did Gone with the Wind also do it? Several literary giants have also released their new books during this period, but his sales volume still exceeded theirs by more than 10 times. This is too terrifying. However, they did not know that something even more terrifying still laid ahead. Russia. In the presidential Senate one. Mr. President, the citizens are marching to protest us going to war. All right, I understand. The Western troops have begun to mobilize, and the military is on standby. Understood. You may return. But, go back. Yes. The door closed with a gust of wind. The wind flipped open a book that was lying on the president's desk. The president walked over and picked up the book with curiosity. Gone with the Wind? He sat down and began reading it quietly. On the same night. At the studio. The staff had already left the office, but Zhong Yi remained behind. He called Old Wu to inform her that he would not be going home tonight. Then he started browsing the internet in his office and looked around online. He checked out the reviews of Gone with the Wind from everywhere in the world and the impact that his novel had on the people. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. Time slowly ticked away. Zhong Yi was still hoping for something much bigger to happen. Because he knew that the duration of the lucky medal was still not over. An hour. 2 hours. On the rankings, the sales of Gone with the Wind kept setting new records. In the end, it even charged into the international top 50 best-selling novels chart. This was the overall rankings chart that tracked the global sales figures of novels. They were the top 50 best-selling books in the world. Gone with the Wind had already broken records and been hailed as the best-selling full-length novel in a decade. But no one would have expected that Gone with the Wind could actually get onto the international top 50 best-selling novels chart in such a short period of time. It entered the charts at 48th place. What did that mean? Of the 50 books on it, every one of them had a history of 10 or more years. Some of the books had even been selling for over 20 to 30 years, or even 50 years. The novels on this bestseller chart had several decades of sales before they appeared on it. Some of the original authors were not even alive anymore, with some of the book's sales figures extremely large in the tens to hundreds of millions of copies. But how long had they been published? How many years did it take for them to get such results? But for Gone with the Wind? It had only taken it less than a month to get there. 11 million copies. 5 million copies. Gone with the Wind's ranking was still increasing. With its momentum, when all of the various language editions were sold in countries around the world, it shouldn't be much of a problem for it to squeeze into the international top 20. The top 20? Every novel at those rankings were masterpieces of the world. Zhong Yi was very happy to see this. Then he dozed off. The next day. Early in the morning. Sun rays shone in as dawn broke. A noise from downstairs woke Zhong Yi up. He opened his eyes and yawned several times before realizing he had fallen asleep in the office in his chair. The door suddenly opened. Little Wang came in, screaming, "Ah, Director Zhong." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "What? Are you trying to frighten me to death?" Little Wang shouted, "You didn't go home last night?" "No, I didn't." Zhong Yi stretched. Many of the others also rushed into the office. Tong Fu shouted, "Something major has happened. Director Zhong. Something major has happened." Zhong Yi was startled. What happened? Zhongs were also came upstairs. Q quickly checked the news. Ha Chichi came up shortly after. Gone with the Wind has made waves again. Zhong Yi hurriedly asked, "What is it?" Ha Chichi said in shock, "It's major international news. Russia has withdrawn its army from neighboring countries. They've started to engage in peace talks. They formed several negotiation groups and sent them to the neighboring countries." Zhong Yi was stunned. What? They aren't going to war anymore? Tong Fu cried out, "There won't be any more fighting. There won't be any more fighting." Zhong Yi said, "What's that got to do with us?" Zhongs were said loudly. In his speech at the press conference, the Russian president mentioned Gone with the Wind. He said that he had a sleepless night and read the book all night. From it, he saw how great an impact war had on the people. So he decided to respect the opinion of the public and turn to diplomatic means to resolve the conflict. Zhong Yi stared at her in shock. "Impossible." Ha Chichi said happily, "He was really influenced by your novel." Zhong Yi's eyes widened. "Are there any anti-war sentiments in Gone with the Wind?" Little Wang was aghast. "You don't even know what's in your own book." Zhong Yi said, "He decided not to go to war after reading my book." "Oh come on, don't joke. It's true. Go and see for yourself." Little Wang said. Zhong Yi's computer was still on. He moved the mouse and the screen came on. Then he checked the news, and his jaw dropped. Damn. It's true. Immediately after that, Wu Yi also ran up. Something has happened again. Where's everyone? Where's everyone? Wu Yi shouted. Ha Chichi shouted at the staircase, "Over here." The moment Wu Yi came upstairs, he said something astonishing. "America has repealed that bill." Zhong Yi said, "Huh?" Ha Chichi was stunned. "Which bill?" Wu Yi said, "The news was just announced a minute ago. That last remaining Exclusion Act has been repealed in part due to the protests of the citizens. The repeal was announced after Congress passed it, and countless black and white Americans have gone onto the streets to celebrate." Zhong Yi said, "Has that got anything to do with us?" Zhongswa was also very excited. "Of course it has. the citizens only started protesting due to the influence of Gone with the Wind. But actually, this bill was already in discussions to be repealed in America. It was only a matter of time before they did it. However, our novel was definitely a catalyst for it to be repealed at this time, so of course it's to our credit. Ha Chichi yelled, "This is the heavens aiding us." Little Wang shouted, "The heavens are on our side." Tong Fu said, "Gone with the Wind will surely rise to another level." Zhong's Wabeli laughed. "What do you mean rise to another level? It's probably gonna sell like crazy now." Only Zhong Yi was still somewhat unable to believe it. Russia. The cheering crowd took to the streets. There won't be a war anymore. This is great. Supporting the peace talks. Supporting the use of diplomatic negotiations. America. The bill has been repealed. Woo! Let's celebrate, brothers. Victory is ours. This is the most glorious moment in American history. Long live equality. China. On Weibo. I'm gonna faint. The Russian president read Zhong Yi's book. And he even decided to hold peace talks because of it. The bill that America has been dragging on has also been repealed? Heck! It's so awesome. For the first time, a novel from our country has had a great impact on the world. Pfft, why do I think it's only a coincidence? Ha ha ha, I think so too. In fact, the Russians might not have even wanted to go to war. Why else did they drag it out for so long? It was only a coincidence that the president read Zhong Yi's book yesterday and a coincidence that they announced the peace talks today. That was the only reason why Gone with the Wind was quoted by the Russian president. It's the same thing in America as well. The bill was already slated to be repealed anyway, except that the date hadn't been confirmed yet. In the end, with the popularity of Gone with the Wind, as well as the American citizens protesting, the government saw a chance to bring forward the decision and repeal the bill. Pfft, face-smacking Zhong's luck is so good. He has always been quite lucky. Yeah, he's really become famous internationally this time. He's probably closed in on the Nobel Prize in Literature by yet another step. At the studio. Videos. Press conferences. Interviews. News articles. Zhong Yi was browsing through the news and getting shocked by everything that he was seeing. Damn. It can even be done this way. Isn't this as good as a free lunch? To think that something like this could have happened the moment this bro woke up. But thinking about it, he also began to understand. How was this a free lunch? It was all the credit of the lucky medal. He lowered his head to look at the effective duration left on the item. 3, 2, 1. System notification, the lucky medal's effects have ended. Chapter 1602, Zhong Yi gets nominated for the Nobel Prize. During the day, some guests dropped by the studio. When Zhong Yi opened the door, he saw a few familiar faces standing outside. Yao Jianzai, Ning Lan, Xu Han, and even Xu Mailan were here. Xu Mailan waved and greeted, "Zhonga." Ning Lan said graciously, "Do you have any water? I'm thirsty for a drink." Come in, Zhong Yi said happily. "A warm welcome to you all. What are all of you doing together? And you all even thought of coming up here to my place too. Did you plan this together?" Yao Jianzai said, "We had an event just now." Xu Han laughed and said, "The event just ended, and we happened to pass by, so we talked about coming over to have a look." Welcome. Zhong Yi said, "Little Wang, pour some tea for the guests." Little Wang said, "Got it." Yao Jianzai asked, "How many copies of your novel have been sold?" Zhong Yi looked to Ha Chichi. Ha Chichi giggled and said, "Over 10 million copies. We could surpass 15 million copies by today." Yao Jianzai said in amazement, "I really have to take my hat off to you." Zhong Yi said, "I guess it's doing okay." Xu Mailan asked, "Have you seen the news yet?" Zhong Yi laughed, "Ha ha, I just saw it." Yao Jianzai said with a sigh, "You're gonna be damn famous now." Xu Han said, "That's right, we specifically came here to cheer you on. The nominees for the Nobel Prize Awards will be announced today, right? Are you gonna be one of the nominees?" I don't know. I haven't received any news about it. Zhong Yi threw his hands up. Xu Mailan smiled and said, that shouldn't be a problem. Even the Russian president has read your book. Zhong Yi shook his head. That counts for nothing. The president isn't part of the Nobel Committee. Yao Jiansai asked, actually, with that novel of yours selling so well and it being so popular, you shouldn't be far off from the international celebrity rankings. Can you get onto it? Zhong Yi waved and said, I still have a little more to go before that happens. Ninglan explained, if it was someone else, they would have already gotten onto that rankings index. But for him, he's still lacking by a bit. Although Zhong is the #1 celebrity in the country, don't forget how he got to that position. A lot of it was due to him winning the highest awards in the country and getting the additional percentages added to his popularity score. He has won so many awards, ranging from mathematics, to variety shows, to singing, as well as in the hosting field. As such, his popularity score would naturally accumulate through winning those honors. However, the international entertainment industry does not recognize our domestic awards, nor does it take into consideration the additional popularity scores gained from them. That's why this guy has the Nobel Prize in Literature on his mind. He's thinking of forcing his way onto the international scene. Xu Han finally understood. So that's the reason. Xu Mailan smiled. In any case, we're all hopeful about you. Zhong Yi said helplessly, even I'm not so sure myself. Do give our Chinese celebrities something to cheer about, Xu Mailan said. Zhong Yi nodded. We'll have to see how the selection goes then. Xu Han stayed for a while longer before leaving. Ninglan, Xu Mailan, and Yao Jiansai did not have anything else to do, so they decided to stay behind and wait for the invitation to arrive from the Nobel Foundation. The so-called invitation was an important signal. The Nobel Committee of this world had never announced the outcome of their selection process, like who was being nominated for a certain prize, how many nominees there were, or who got eliminated within the first round of the selections. None of this would ever get detailed in black and white. Each year, they would only send out the Nobel Prize invitations shortly before the Nobel Prize award ceremonies took place. The people that were issued with this invitation would then be considered the main nominees of the Nobel Prizes. This meant the Nobel Prize would only be awarded to one of the people in the pool. If they didn't get invited to the venue of the award ceremony, that would mean that they stood no chance of winning. Half an hour. An hour. Everyone was chatting as they waited. Ninglan kept looking over. It still hasn't arrived? Yao Jiansai said in amusement, could it be that you did not make the final cut? Zhong Yi rolled his eyes. Can't you pick something nicer to say? Xu Mailan said, you shouldn't have a problem being selected as a nominee, right? That might not necessarily happen. Yao Jiansai said, the international awards committees have always had a bias against China, so it's really hard to say. Xu Mailan said, I don't think that would happen for the Nobel Prizes, though. Suddenly, Tong Fu, who was sitting at his computer, shouted. It's here! It's here! What's here? The invitation to the Nobel Prize award ceremony. Ah! It has really arrived? Let me see, let me see. In an instant, everyone surrounded him. It was an email that was written fully in English. The first line of the email was, Dear Mr. Zhong Yi. The last line of the email was, Nobel Prize Committee. Yao Jiansai cried out, damn, it's really an invitation. Xu Mailan gave Zhong Yi a thumbs up. Impressive. Ninglan asked, how many Chinese citizens have been nominated for the Nobel Prizes before Zhong? He's exactly the 10th person to have received a nomination. Xu Mailan had clearly done her research. China had never won a Nobel Prize before. Be it in mathematics, chemistry, or literature, it had never happened before. But throughout the decades of the Nobel Prize history, there were still 9 Chinese citizens who had made the final cut and received an invitation to the Nobel Prize award ceremony. And today, that number increased by yet another, with Zhong Yi becoming the 10th person in China to stand a chance at winning the Nobel Prize. The date, 8 days later. The venue of the awards, England. Dressing requirements, white tie and tails. Remarks, you may bring along 2 family members or staff with you. Accommodation and meals for additional personnel are excluded. The invitation to the Nobel Prize award ceremony was not exactly elegant and was just a short and simple email. It was basically just information related to the event, as well as arrangements for the accommodation and meals. Now that Zhong Yi's English was no longer the same, he could finish reading it with just a glance. After that, he called over Ha Chichi and Little Wang. Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Both of you, get prepared when the time comes." Little Wang said in surprise, "Ah? I can go?" Ha Chichi asked, "Aren't you gonna bring your wife and kid?" Zhong Yi shrugged. It's not convenient for old Wu to go abroad. She would have to apply to the higher-ups, and there wouldn't be enough time. Then he looked at Little Wang with a smile. "What? You don't wish to go?" Little Wang cried out, "Of course I want to. This is the stage of the most prestigious award in the world." It was only then that everyone remembered Zhong Yi's wife was a deputy minister, so it would be extremely troublesome for her to go abroad since she would have to go through a lot of paperwork. Tong Fu said in tears, "Director Zhong, I want to go too." Little Sun raised his hand. "Director Zhong, me too. I want to go as well." Wu Yi said, "It's the venue of the Nobel Prize Awards. It's something that you can brag about for the rest of your life." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "We'll talk about that another time. You guys wouldn't be allowed in even if you were there anyway." He then thought of something. He picked up his phone and said helplessly, "Even I might not necessarily be able to go." Yao Jiancai said, "Huh?" Xu Mailan let out a laugh. "Why couldn't you go?" Ning Lan was taken aback before realizing what Zhong Yi meant. Zhong Yi was already calling the Chinese Academy of Sciences. The call connected. "Hello, old Kai? Who is it? Who do you think it is?" "Oh, kid, it's you. What is it?" "I have to travel overseas. Help me with the application." "Travel overseas? That's impossible. Honestly, I have some serious business to attend to." "It doesn't matter what serious business you have, no means no. You're third on the list of key protected scientists by the military. Who's gonna ensure your security when you're overseas? There's no need for any applications. This won't be approved by the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the Chinese Academy of Engineering, and even the military itself. If anything happens to you, we can't answer for it." Old Kai was very firm in his answer. Zhong Yi said angrily, "I'll be responsible for my own safety. Hurry up and handle this matter for me. There aren't too many days left. If I can't go, are you going to accept the Nobel Prize on my behalf?" Fellow Kai was stunned. "What did you say? The Nobel Prize?" Zhong Yi said, "I've received an invitation from them." Fellow Kai couldn't believe it. "Are you serious? Do you want me to send it to you?" Zhong Yi asked. Fellow Kai said excitedly, "I understand. I'll send in the application for you right away." Zhong Yi said happily, "Didn't you say that I'm not allowed to go overseas?" Fellow Kai said in embarrassment, "If it's the Nobel Prize, you would still have to go." "Which prize are you vying for?" "The field that I started off in, of course," Zhong Yi said. Fellow Kai clearly did not read the news much. "The field you started off in? The Nobel Prize in Mathematics? The Nobel Prize in Physics?" Zhong Yi coughed and said, "The Nobel Prize in Literature." "What?" Fellow Kai said in surprise, "When did your old job have anything to do with literature?" With a pause, he suddenly remembered. "Oh, I nearly forgot. You used to write books and poetry. I still wanted to personally commend you for a citation if you really won the Nobel Prize, but I think I better not since it's only the Nobel Prize in Literature, which has nothing to do with our scientific field. Why didn't you work harder, kid? You should have gone for the Nobel Prize in Mathematics." Zhong Yi said helplessly, "Old Kai, I've just realized how narrow-minded you are. Winning a Nobel Prize is already a blessing, yet you're still being so picky? Ha ha, just kidding. Do well, and come back home with the Nobel Prize. It doesn't matter which field it is. You'll still be hailed as a hero of the nation." Zhong Yi said, "That's what I like hearing." The call ended. Everyone stared at Zhong Yi in shock. Zhong Yi smiled and said, "It's settled." What are you all looking at me for? Yao Jiancai said, looking astonished, "Since when did you become a key protected scientist by the military?" "I've always been one," Zhong Yi said with a smile. Ning Lan said stunned, "You're even ranked in the top 3 on that list?" Zhong Yi said, "I don't know about that." Xu Mailan laughed and said, "He's the winner of the country's highest science and technology award. He the one who built China's first self-developed and mass-produced aircraft engine, and also participated in the research of the radar systems and design of the fighter jet. If I were the military, I would also be sure to focus on ensuring his safety." Yao Jiancai said in envy, "When will I be able to get the treatment this kid is getting?" Ning Lan laughed and said, "Why don't you start with becoming a scientist?" Yao Jiancai waved his hands. "Forget it then, I don't have his smarts." The news was revealed. China was in a heated discussion. Zhong Yi has been nominated? He has really been nominated for the Nobel Prize? Is it the Mathematics or Literature Prize? It should be for the Literature Prize. Zhong Yi has really become a nominee for the Nobel Prize. He's the 10th person in China to be nominated for the Nobel Prize. Oh, my awesome face-smacking Zhong. India's Bangalore has also been nominated. The Japanese writer too. There are a total of about a dozen people nominated for the Literature Prize. There are still 8 more days to go. This will be an intense battle. I really wish that Zhong Yi brings home the Nobel Prize. Yeah, it's not only going to be an honor for China and the Chinese people, this will also help Zhong Yi to break into the international celebrity rankings. This might be the closest that China will get to the Nobel Prize. You can do it, face-smacking Zhong. If you don't win it, don't think about coming home. Chapter 1603, You're a hecking nominee for the Literature Prize? Several days later. At home. The car was already waiting outside. Wu Ziqing smiled as she helped him with his luggage. "Everything is packed." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "All right." His mother reminded him repeatedly, "You better not cause any trouble." "Yeah, I know," Zhong Yi said impatiently. His mother said, "You had better not get into another fight this time." Zhong Yi rolled his eyes. "It's the Nobel Prize award ceremony. Why would I be fighting?" His mother harumphed, "When have you not caused trouble whenever you're overseas?" "Enough." His father said, "Our son still has a flight to catch." Cece said in her childish voice, "Daddy, when are you coming home?" Zhong Yi lowered his head to give her a kiss. "Daddy will be home in another 2 days. Be good and listen to Mommy, Nana, and Pops. Daddy will bring you a little present when I get back." Cece nodded hard. MHM. Zhong Yi waved and said, "I'm off." His father said, "If you really can't win, then so be it." Zhong Yi smiled. "I know." He was about to set off for England. This time, Zhong Yi maintained a very good attitude ahead of the award ceremony. With only so much time and so much that he could do, he had done everything that he needed to do and could do. Everything would depend on the Nobel Prize Committee's decision. He had already done his best, so there was nothing more he could do even if they chose not to award it to him. In the evening. At the airport. Zhong Yi and his colleagues boarded the plane. Zhong Yi's seat was in the first-class cabin. Due to there being very few direct flights from Beijing to England, there were not too many tickets available either. This flight was operated by British Airways, so Ha Chichi and Little Wang were both booked in economy. If it weren't for Zhong Yi's popularity, he would probably not have even qualified for an upgrade. The Nobel Foundation had only provided an economy seat. Little Wang brought a blanket over. "Here, I brought this for you." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "I already have one here." "It's too thin. Cover yourself another layer." "It will get really cold at night," Little Wang said. Ha Chichi smiled and said, "We'll be heading back to our seats then. Call for us if there's anything you need." Zhong Yi said, "Go on then. Rest early tonight." Ha Chichi said, "All right." Zhong Yi said, "If it's too much of a squeeze there, let me know. I'll change seats with you too." Little Wang said, "Aya, there's no need." Ha Chichi laughed and said, "You don't have to worry about us." The two of them went back to the economy class. At this moment, an English stewardess came over to help ensure that all of the passengers had their seatbelts on. The flight was about to take off. Zhong Yi checked his watch. He knew that the plane would be landing tomorrow morning, so he pulled up the blanket and reclined his seat to catch some ZS. Half an hour. An hour. After who knows how long, he was awoken by the sound of people speaking near him. A few foreigners were talking with each other. Their voices were not that loud, and it was obvious that they were trying to keep it down. But as the few of them were seated very close to Zhong Yi, he could still hear their conversation. There's no solution to this model. I feel that this train of thought is correct. I don't think it is. It was headed in the wrong direction ever since the beginning. Yes, this is still an impossible to calculate three-dimensional quantum system. I'm hoping to use the exact diagonalization techniques to find the quantum system's low energy state. They were all speaking in English. Some of them had an average command of English, while others spoke it better. They didn't seem to be from the same country. Two of the foreigners were by themselves, while the other two were probably teacher-student. The older of those two was debating with the others, while the younger one did not say anything at all. He just raised his head and looked at them as he drew and wrote into a notebook while listening to them. It seemed like he was jotting down their viewpoints. Zhong Yi also got rather interested the more he listened. Unable to sleep, he casually joined in on the conversation by saying something in English. Zhong Yi said, "How about using a density matrix renormalization group 1? The few foreigners looked at the youth in astonishment. The gray-haired foreigner who was the oldest of the group said, "You know what we're talking about?" His student asked, "You're also a physicist?" Zhong Yi smiled. "Something like that. I know a little." The 40-year-old foreign lady who was sitting at the front got excited and turned around to pass Zhong Yi a piece of paper. "Have a look at my algorithms and model." Zhong Yi took it and scanned it. His eyes lit up. "Interesting." The gray-haired man immediately said, "That model of hers is wrong. It definitely has to be wrong." That last foreigner, who was a balding man, said, "I still think there's some feasibility to, and it's a possible breakthrough. I'll be preparing a class on this topic when I get back." Zhong Yi looked at the calculations for a long time and suddenly shook his head. "This method is pretty interesting, but it still won't work. You're trying to reduce the degrees of freedom in the quantum system and attempting a renormalization technique here in the reduced space. In this iterative process, you would want to employ a reduction method to retrieve the true low energy state of the system, but the NRG2 way is generally only suitable for a complex system. When it is used for a grid system like this, it often returns results of rather poor accuracy." When the four of them heard this, they were astonished. The lady exclaimed, "You actually understood that?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "I've done research on it for a similar project." The bald man said, "There will surely be a slight error, but it should be fixable." Zhong Yi shook his head. For this kind of error, it wouldn't be fixable even if there was only a difference of 0.01. The gray-haired man said in a serious tone, "What are your thoughts then?" "I think," Zhong Yi said, "we possibly split the system into two subsystems, or blocks, with one being the system and the other being the surroundings. These two blocks would then combine to be known as a superblock. Now a candidate for the ground state of the superblock, which is a reduced version of the full system, may be found. The density matrix renormalization is then applied after that to select the most important states to be kept at the end of each step." The lady said excitedly, "This is a marvelous way of approaching it." The gray-haired man frowned. "But there are still problems with this method." Zhong Yi did not shy away from it. "Yes, it remains an unsolvable problem. For example, when it comes to specific applications, it would be very difficult to build a model for it." The bald man immediately said, "Let me do some calculations first." The gray-haired man said, "There's no need to calculate anymore. This kid is right. It will be very difficult to establish a working model." They just couldn't stop chatting. They analyzed. They debated. They studied the problem. They did calculations. They chatted all night, and in the end, no one slept at all. The seats were littered with model drawings and algorithms, filling up over 50 pieces of paper. It wasn't until the plane landed that they finally snapped out of it. The gray-haired man looked out the window. "We've arrived?" The bald man sighed and said, "How time passes." The lady said, "Thank you all so much. I have gained a lot of new ideas today on this subject. Let's exchange contact info and stay in touch. When can we meet again?" But the gray-haired man just smiled. "I'm afraid we'll still be seeing each other a lot these few days, right?" The bald man said with a laugh, "I think so too." The lady looked at Zhong Yi and the others. "You are?" "My name is Hans." The gray-haired man pointed at his student next to him and said, "This is my student, and we're here to attend the Nobel Prize award ceremony." The lady said in surprise, "Oh, you're Professor Hans, the world's leading authority in physics." The gray-haired man laughed and said, "I dare not accept that title." The lady introduced herself. "My name is Anna, and I'm also one of the nominees for the Nobel Prize in Physics." Hans said in surprise, "So you're Anna?" The bald man also looked at her. "The Anna who specializes in quantum physics." Anna said, "That's me." The bald man said, "My name is Page." Anna exclaimed, "That's you? Professor Page? I've read your paper." Page said, "I've read yours too." Anna said with a wry smile, "Your reputations precede you. So you're all here to attend the Nobel Prize award ceremony." She looked at Zhong Yi and the others. "I was wondering what a coincidence this was. How could there possibly be so many physicists taking the same flight together? Our country does not have direct flights to England, which is why I am transferring flights in China." Hans smiled and said, "Me too." Page noticed that Zhong Yi had already started to take his luggage. He couldn't help but ask, "And which professor might you be?" Zhong Yi smiled and introduced himself. "Zhong Yi." Anna asked, "Are you also a nominee for the Nobel Prize?" Zhong Yi smiled and gave a nod. The three world-famous physicists looked at each other, obviously not having heard of his name before. However, they also knew that there were too many famous physicists in the world, and they couldn't possibly know everyone. If nominated for a Nobel Prize, none of them would be a pushover. All of them must surely have made significant contributions in some aspects to the field of physics. Anna said happily, "Let's mingle more over the next few days." Hans nodded with a smile. "Our ride should have arrived already. Let's continue the talk later." Page said, "All right." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "No problem." A moment later, the cabin's hatch was opened. Zhong Yi and the few physicists chatted as they got off the plane. On the way, they discussed yet another problem. This time, Zhong Yi and Hans had a different stand on the matter. Anna supported Zhong Yi's point of view, while Page supported Hans's. The group started yet another round of debates at the baggage carousel. In the distance, Ha Chichi and Little Wang also came over. Little Wang said startled, "Who is Director Zhong talking with?" Ha Chichi did not know whether to laugh or cry. "Who knows?" Little Wang said with a sigh, "Director Zhong is so good at conversation. He can make friends everywhere he goes." The two of them did not know what the group was talking about. They knew that it was English, but they could not understand any of the technical vocabulary used in the conversation. After getting their luggage, they followed Zhong Yi and the others out of the airport. The person from the pickup service had already arrived. There were 2 cars over there. An Englishman raised a placard with Zhong Yi's name on it. Zhong Yi went up to him. "You must have waited a long time." The Englishman said, "You're Mr. Zhong Yi, right?" Zhong Yi laughed. "Yes, that's me." The Englishman smiled. "Please enter the car." Beside them, Hans, Anna, and the other 2 men wanted to get in as well. But they were stopped by the driver of the other car. The English cabbie said, "You all must be Professors Anna, Hans, and Page, right? I'm here to take you all to the hotel. Please enter this car." Zhong Yi waved to them. "I'll see you all later." Hans and the others were taken aback. He asked, "Why aren't we traveling in the same car?" Anna clearly hadn't had enough of the conversation yet either. Aren't there still seats available in there? The English cabbie looked at the car carrying Zhong Yi and explained, "Oh, he's not taking the same car as you all." Page asked in a speechless manner, "Why is that?" "We're all physicists, so wouldn't it be better for us to be taking the same car?" The English cabbie was taken aback. "Physicists? That car isn't arranged for picking up physicists." "Ah?" Anna was stunned. Hans said with a chuckle, "How is that possible?" The English cabbie didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He said, "That cab is for the nominees of the Nobel Prize in Literature." Page said stunned, "The Nobel Prize in Literature? Did you all make a mistake?" The English cabbie wiped at his sweat. "It can't be wrong." Anna said, "He's obviously a physicist. We've been talking about the frontiers facing the field of physics for the entire night." "I had a look at the sign just now," the English cabbie said with a wry smile. "That person's name is Zhong Yi, right?" Han said dumbfoundedly, "Right, he's called Zhong Yi." The English cabbie coughed and said, "Then I definitely did not get it wrong. He's a nominee for the Nobel Prize in Literature. Don't you all know him? He was the one who wrote Gone with the Wind." "Gone with the Wind?" "He was the one who wrote Gone with the Wind." The trio of Hans, Anna, and Paige nearly spat out a mouthful of blood upon hearing that. "We've been talking about physics the entire journey here. But you're telling us that he's actually involved in the literary field. Are you hecking kidding us?" Looking at the sedan that Zhong Yi was in driving off into the distance, the four of them were utterly confused. Chapter 1604, Why Have You Become a Mathematician? London. The neat streets. An old church. Exotic beauties. Along the way, the scenery outside the car was completely unobstructed. Little Wang leaned against the window and exclaimed, "How beautiful." Ha Chichi narrowed her eyes and said, "It indeed does feel different here." Zhong Yi was also in the UK for the first time, so he was quite curious about the local customs. Little Wang looked at Zhong Yi. "Director Zhong." Zhong Yi said. Little Wang pleaded, "Can Sister Ha and I go shopping tonight?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Don't you two have jet lag?" Little Wang giggled and said, "We slept on the plane for the entire journey. We can't sleep anymore." Zhong Yi said, "Go on then. It's a rare chance for us to come out here anyway, and the award ceremony is scheduled for tomorrow as well." "All right. Thanks, Director Zhong," Little Wang said excitedly. Ha Chichi smiled and said, "Shall we go to Oxford Street?" Little Wang clapped. "That will be great." Up ahead, they arrived at the hotel. This was the hotel that housed this year's Nobel Prize award ceremony's personnel. It was over 10 stories high, and the entire hotel had already been fully booked. Besides the Nobel Prize committee members, there were also the staff for the ceremony, foreign dignitaries, and guests. The remaining people were all the nominees for this year's Nobel Prize. They came from all walks of life and could be said to have made great contributions to the world in their relevant fields. The guest list was so prestigious that it would shock anyone who saw it. The car stopped. The cabbie got out and opened the door for them. Zhong Yi and his staff came into the hotel and checked in. Quite a few guests checked in, but some of those who had just arrived were still processing their check-ins. All of them were foreign faces that Zhong Yi could not recognize. Ha Chichi asked, "Which floor are we on?" After registering them, the female English employee smiled and said, "You're on the 7th floor. That floor is reserved for all the nominees of the Nobel Prize in Literature and their entourage. The Literature Prize. The Physiology or Medicine Prize. The Physics Prize. The Mathematics Prize. The Economics Prize won." And so on and so forth. All except for the Nobel Peace Prize, which was a tad special as it did not have any nominees. The accommodation arrangements for the rest of the award nominees were made according to the category of awards. The organizers had purposely arranged for them to stay on the same floor so that everyone could interact with one another. This was in the spirit of the Nobel Prizes, after all. Ha Chichi nodded. "All right." The pretty English lady pointed. "The elevators are over there." Little Wang smiled and said, "Thank you." The pretty English lady looked at Zhong Yi. Zhong Yi was taken aback. Yes? What's the matter? The pretty English lady looked around to check that no one was looking before reaching under the table, taking out a book while smiling graciously. It was the English edition of Gone with the Wind. Teacher Zhong, can I get your autograph? Zhong Yi was very happy to hear that. Sure. He grabbed a pen and signed it for her. This was the first time he met a foreign fan asking for his autograph. It was a different feeling. Zhong Yi could clearly feel his international reputation growing. However, when he signed the book, he still stubbornly signed it in Chinese. He only had this signature since he did not have an English name. The pretty English lady was obviously very happy. Thank you so much. Zhong Yi said to Ha Chichi and Little Wang, let's go. Little Wang whispered, looks like you also have foreign fans now. Ha Chichi laughed and said, Director Zhong is no longer who he was. The three of them walked to the elevator. Behind them, several people suddenly caught up to them. Zhong. Wait a moment. Slow down. Turning around, he saw Hans, Anna, and Paige. They arrived slightly after Zhong Yi and had already cleared their check-ins. They came up to Zhong Yi and company with their luggage behind them. Anna stared at him in surprise. Are you really the author of Gone with the Wind? Zhong Yi smiled. Yes. Paige stared in surprise. Aren't you a physicist? Zhong Yi said in amusement, I do know a little about physics. You call that knowing a little? Hans said, floored. To be able to hold a discussion and debate with us Nobel Prize-nominated physicists, you call that knowing a little? Hans's student was also looking at Zhong Yi in shock. On their way here in the car, they were completely unable to accept this fact. If he only knew a little, even with a very deep understanding of physics, he would not have been able to hold a debate like they had on the plane and after they disembarked. What about was Hans's student? He was also an expert in physics. Even though he was a student in name, he was still a full-fledged physics professor. However, in their discussions about the topic, Hans's student was unable to say anything. This was due to his limited ability and knowledge. But Zhong Yi? Not only was he able to chat with them, some of his thoughts even gave them some inspiration. How could he be just an ordinary physicist? A world-leading authority on physics like you. Yet you went into the literary field? Are you serious? Hans couldn't be more disappointed. Why did you write a novel? Zhong Yi was taken aback. But I originally started out writing novels. Anna was stunned. Ah? Paige's eyes widened in surprise. You used to write novels? Yeah. Zhong Yi said with a smile, why else would I be vying for the Nobel Prize in Literature? Paige couldn't help but look up into the sky in astonishment. Anna's legs turned to rubber. What the heck? As they talked, the elevator was delayed. All of a sudden, a group of people arrived behind them. One of the people recognized Zhong Yi immediately. Zhong. It's you? Zhong. My Chinese friend. You're here too? Zhong Yi turned around. He was very happy to see who it was that called out to him. John, Steve, were you two nominated as well? Congratulations. I wouldn't have known if I didn't see you here. An English mathematician said with a smile, I'm just joining in the fun, not here to vie for the prize. An American mathematician laughed and said, me neither. I'm not hopeful of winning anything even though I was nominated. A French mathematician said, I have no regrets now that I've been nominated for a Nobel Prize. I never thought about winning, but there's hope for you. Zhong Yi waved it off. I wouldn't be so sure of that. The English mathematician said, at least you stand a greater chance than us. The American mathematician said, but the competition for this year's Nobel Prize in Mathematics is indeed quite intense. There were 28 people who were identified as the nominees of this award alone. Zhong Yi laughed, knowing that they had misunderstood the situation. These few people were the best foreign mathematicians Zhong Yi had met back when he solved the global mathematical conjecture. In the global mathematics field, he still knew quite a few people. When Anna the physicist heard that, she said in stupefaction, Mathematics Prize. What mathematics prize? Paige was also stunned. Mathematics? When these people said hello to Zhong Yi, the physicists had thought that they had known Zhong Yi from before and assumed them to be the nominees for the Nobel Prize in Literature. At the beginning, they did not pay much attention to it, but as they listened, they suddenly realized something was amiss. Who are you all? Hans's student's eyes narrowed as he hurriedly whispered to his teacher, I know that English guy. His Professor John, a world-famous mathematician. Ah. Paige heard it. Anna also heard it. This was a group of mathematicians? The English mathematician looked at the physicists and wondered, aren't you all together? Don't you know? Hans said in confusion, know about what? The French mathematician smiled and said, so you all don't know each other. Then allow me to introduce you. This is Zhong Yi, a world-class mathematician. Years ago, we took part in the verification process of the proof to Dale's conjecture that he proposed. That's why we're saying Zhong Yi has a chance of getting the Nobel Prize in mathematics. If not for the trouble that he got into back then that led to him disappearing from the public for 3 or 4 years, he would have been nominated and possibly won it at that time, the American mathematician teased. Even better, he forfeited an international mathematics prize at that time and made so many people in the world of math fuming mad. Zhong Yi laughed and said, I'm not vying for the mathematics prize this time. The English mathematician was taken aback. What do you mean? I was nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature, Zhong Yi said. All of the mathematicians' jaws dropped. What? The Literature Prize? Why are you battling in the field of literature? The physicists were confused once again. What? A mathematician? What the hell? When did you become a mathematician? Chapter 1605, The Nobel Banquet. At the resort. Outside the elevator on the 7th floor. Zhong Yi bade farewell to the physicists and mathematicians and excused himself. I'll go back to my room first. Are you really staying on the 7th floor? You were really nominated for the Literature Prize? Didn't I already say so? All right then, you sure are impressive. Zhong, come visit our room when you have time. Which floor are you all on? We're on the 8th floor. We're on the 9th floor. Okay, I'll move around as much as possible if I have nothing on. Ding. The elevator door closed. The rest of the party proceeded upstairs. Only then did Zhong Yi, Ha Chichi, and Little Wang walk to the rooms with their luggage. Little Wang was laughing as they walked in. Director Zhong has left them all so confused. Ha Chichi laughed and said, that's right. The thing here is that Director Zhong is really involved in too many industries. Forget about what those foreigners think. Even our own countrymen, including those who know Director Zhong well, would not know which prize he was nominated for if the Nobel Prize Committee did not publish the nominee list. Zhong Yi said, actually, either one of them would be fine. Little Wang said, that's right. As long as it's a Nobel Prize, we can break into the international celebrity rankings. We're here. Ha Chichi matched the keycard with the room number. Director Zhong, this is your room. Zhong Yi took his luggage from them. All right, I have nothing else for you all here. Carry on and go shopping or eat if you want. Do anything you wish to. I'll call if there's anything. Little Wang said happily, okay. After they left, Zhong Yi drew open the curtains to have a look at the scenery outside. He took out his cell phone and sent Old Wu and his parents a message to inform them that he had arrived. He even took a few pictures to show them. Then he did some simple unpacking before checking his watch and closing the curtains. After that, he pulled the covers over himself in bed and went to sleep. On the plane, he had chatted with the physicists for almost the entire journey without getting much rest. There was a dinner banquet 1 in the evening, so he decided to sleep for a while. An hour. 2 hours. Ding dong. The doorbell rang. Zhong Yi yawned and woke up. He thought that it was Ha Chichi and Little Wang coming to look for him, so he went to open the door. He saw 2 people standing outside the door. He was slightly taken aback by them. They were 2 strangers he did not know at all. Zhong Yi blinked. You two are? Standing outside were a man and a woman. The man was around 40 years old and looked like a very refined gentleman. The woman, who was in her 30s, was a pretty blonde. Anthony smiled and said in English, "Hello, are you Zhong Yi?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "I am." Anthony said, "My name is Anthony, and I'm English." The blonde beauty said in a friendly manner, "I'm Felicia, a Swede." Zhong Yi didn't know these two people, but he had heard their names before. "So it's Mr. Anthony and Ms. Felicia. Hello to the two of you." Anthony grinned. "It's almost time for the evening banquet. We're all nominees for the Nobel Prize in Literature, and Felicia and I were about to head downstairs for dinner when we talked about your book. So we asked around to find which room you were in. We were hoping to get to know you and maybe ask if you would like to join us for dinner." Felicia had a very sweet smile. "Anthony and I have been researching your book for quite some time now. It's such a wonderful read. I have not come across such a soul-stirring novel in many years, so when we learned that you were also nominated for the award, we were both very happy. We felt that we definitely had to get to know the author of Gone with the Wind." Zhong Yi shook their hands. "I've also read both your works before and was really inspired by them. It's my pleasure to get to know the two of you. Please, come into my room and have a seat." The three of them were all famous writers of this world, so after introductions, there wasn't a need to act like strangers in front of each other. With pleasantries exchanged, everyone became familiar with each other quite quickly. Zhong Yi had brought along his own tea leaves on this trip. He brewed them a pot of tea, using the Da Hong Pao tea leaves, of course. The two writers liked the tea so much, they couldn't stop praising it. Zhong Yi asked, "Are you two a couple?" Felicia laughed. "Of course not." Anthony said, "I've known Felicia since last year when we were both nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature, so we're extremely familiar with the entire process of the awards. If there's anything you do not understand, feel free to ask me since I'm English, or you could ask Felicia." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "That would be great." Felicia asked, "There will be a lot of people later at the banquet. I'll introduce a few of them to you." Anthony said, "Right, it's your first time, and you don't really know a lot of people here. We'll go as a group, and Felicia and I can introduce the other nominees to you." Zhong Yi said happily, "Sure." Anthony said, "You're the favorite to win the Nobel Prize this year." Zhong Yi said humbly, "It's both your second times being nominated. I don't think I stand that great of a chance." Anthony shook his head and said, "It has nothing to do with the number of times we were nominated." Felicia nodded and said, "That's right. Some people have been nominated over 7 times, yet they still didn't win the Nobel Prize. But for some people, they win it immediately after being nominated once. All of it depends on the quality of their work. Gone with the Wind is too popular, and its sales figures have broken so many records as well. It's already reached 17 million copies in sales worldwide, hasn't it? And it even caused America to repeal the bill that enabled racism, as well as made Russia enter into peace talks with its neighbors. This sort of influence is unmatched by any other. The only people who can possibly compete with you are the Indian writer, Bangalore, and the Japanese writer." Anthony grunted. "That Indian writer has a terrible temper." Felicia smiled and said, "I don't like him either. So if we see him, let's stay far away from him. It'd be for the better if we don't engage with someone like that." "Stay away from him?" Zhong Yi was amused to hear that. This was a phrase that others would often say about him. When had he ever needed to stay away from others? It was almost time. The three of them chatted as they took the elevator down to the banquet hall. Although it was called a banquet, it was actually just a buffet dinner with music and performances. This was held for the Nobel Prize nominees to interact with one another. It was not an enforced event, so those who wished to join could join, but it didn't matter even if they did not want to go. In the banquet hall, violin music was serenading the crowd. Quite a few people had already arrived, and the atmosphere was very lively. Anthony was a local and had previously participated in the Nobel Prize award ceremony, so he automatically started showing Zhong Yi around since he was a newcomer. "Zhong, there's nothing to be nervous about. This is your first time taking part in an event like this, so it will definitely take a little getting used to. All of the world's leading authorities are gathered here. There are mathematicians, chemists, medical practitioners, and people from all sorts of different fields here. We don't have much in common with them, so there's nothing much for us to interact with them on. We just need to mingle with the people from our own field since we can't take part of the other field's conversations. Zhong Yi nodded. Felicia smiled and said, "Let's go, we'll introduce a few friends to you." When the three of them entered the dinner venue, some people immediately took notice of Zhong Yi. Hans and his student waved at him from afar. "Zhong, over here." Anthony was startled. Felicia was also stunned for a bit. Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Hi, Professor Hans." Hans said, "Why did you just get here? Who are these two?" Zhong Yi said, "Oh, let me introduce you to each other. This is Anthony, and this is Felicia. They're both world-renowned authors." He turned his head and introduced, "This is Professor Hans and his student. Professor Hans is one of the world's leading authorities in the field of physics." Anthony said, "Hello, Professor Hans." Felicia said in a stunned manner, "Nice to meet you." Over there, another two people came over. "Zhong, I've been looking for you for a long time." Anna fast walked over. Paige was also beside her. He got very happy when he saw Zhong Yi. "Zhong, you're finally here. Quick, I was just conversing with Anna. Come and give us your opinion." Anthony was dumbfounded. "These two are?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Professor Paige and Professor Anna." Behind them, another voice rang out. "Zhong, you're here already? Bond has just arrived, and he's looking for you." A group of mathematicians from all over the world walked into the venue. Zhong Yi said happily, "Yo, Professor Bond." Bond complained, "Where have you been all these years? I had so many research projects that I wanted to work with you on. Have you been purposely avoiding me?" Zhong Yi said in a speechless manner, "How could I?" Bond said with a straight face, "There's a mathematical conjecture that I wanted us to work together on." Zhong Yi wasn't too interested. "Let's talk about it again in the future." "No, you have to give me an answer today," Bond said. Zhong Yi chuckled. "Let's eat first, let's eat." "Oh yes, I still haven't made introductions. This is Anthony, and this is Felicia. They're both my friends." The English mathematician, Steve, said curiously, "Anthony? I've read your books before." The English writer, Anthony, hurriedly said, "I've seen you on television before, Professor Steve." Steve was very happy to hear that. "I've wanted to meet you for a long time." Anthony said, "Me too, it's an honor." Group after group. After they went away, only Zhong Yi, Anthony, and Felicia were left. Felicia was going crazy. Anthony was aghast. "Isn't this your first time in England? Isn't this your first time getting nominated for the Nobel Prizes? Damn. Why do you know even more people than I do? Are you the local or am I the local?" The two of them had been very eager to bring Zhong Yi around to get to know some people before this. But how could they have imagined it would end up with Zhong Yi introducing a host of other Nobel Prize nominees to them? Chapter 1606, Who is the one with the worst temper here? London. At the banquet venue. Zhong Yi's entrance still made some people take notice of him. There weren't too many Asians who were nominated for the Nobel Prizes, so even if they did not know what Zhong Yi looked like, they could still guess who he was. Furthermore, if they asked around, they would be able to find out his identity too. So some of the people at the venue cast curious glances at him. Gone with the Wind and its author became very well known throughout the world during this past month. So he's the writer from China? He's this young? It's the first time I've seen him too. Why does he know the Nobel Prize nominees from the math and physics crowd? Don't you guys know? Know about what? He's a well-known mathematician to begin with. Huh? Really? Surely he can't be a very well-known mathematician, right? You're wrong, he's really famous. I've checked his profile. He was awarded an International Math Award some years ago, but for some unknown reason, he didn't accept it. He forfeited the award? Oh my God. In the field of physics and mechanical engineering, he's also an expert. Are you serious? I only learned about it from the news, and I don't really know him that well. Oh, he has another identity too. I'm sure you've all heard of it before. He was once the hacker with the highest bounty in the world. What? That's him? He's that too? The world's #1 hacker? Why does he have so many identities? He's involved in so many different industries? That's why the international media once commented that he was the smartest person to exist in a few hundred years. However, people have rarely heard of his name and news. This is because of political factors. Many countries around the world have limited coverage of the news in China, which everyone knows. It's just that this time, the sensation caused by his novel was too great, which is why he has finally come to the attention of the mainstream international media as well. So that's how it is. Yeah, there wasn't any news related to him in my country before Gone with the Wind was released. Everyone was fervently discussing him. Some people were even pointing at him and whispering among themselves. Anthony could hear the voices of discussion around him. The look in Felicia's eyes changed as she gazed at Zhong Yi. You're actually this impressive? Zhong Yi smiled. No, not really. They're just undeserved titles. Anthony said, how are they undeserved? I've got a really bad reputation, Zhong Yi said with a smile. Felicia didn't believe him. You're a writer and a scientist, how bad can your reputation be? Can it be any worse than Bangalore from India? Zhong Yi blinked. Why isn't his reputation good? Anthony shook his head. He has lifestyle problems. He won't budge once he has his eyes on a woman. Even Felicia has been pestered by him before. And that's still not considered too bad. He has a terrible temper as well and often yells at his own assistants for no rhyme or reason. In India itself, his reputation is also very poor. He has many conflicts with many people and is a compulsive gambler too. Zhong Yi said, is that it? Felicia said in a speechless manner, what more are you expecting? Anthony looked at him. Can your reputation be any worse than his? Zhong Yi hesitated for a moment before deciding not to say anything. How could this be called a bad reputation? How could this be called a bad temper? And I thought it was bad. Forget it, I better not bring up my embarrassing incidents. As they chatted, the people at the venue burst into an uproar. Why is he here? Bangalore? This guy is really thick-skinned. After all that fuss at the banquet last year, he still dares to show up this year? Let's go, we better stay far away from him. A lot of people walked away shaking their heads. Zhong Yi turned around and saw that person as well. It was an Indian man. Bangalore? He had a very dark skin tone and did not look particularly handsome, but neither was he ugly. Two of his assistants were trailing close behind him. Anthony's expression changed slightly. Doesn't he know that he's not welcome here? Felicia also looked on with disdain. How can he wear slippers to the banquet? Bangalore was clearly a regular at the Nobel Prize award ceremony. He had been nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature for many years running, so he knew the majority of the people here. He even said hello to a few of them. Horn, long time no see. Felicia, you're here too? Felicia ignored him. Bangalore wasn't bothered and laughed it off. After exchanging a few pleasantries, he led his assistants to the dining area. He took a sip of the red wine and frowned. Then he tasted a piece of meat and started chattering about how horrible it tasted. Even without saying much, the situation was already getting out of hand. Anthony pursed his lips. There, Zhong, you understand now? Felicia said, this is the Nobel Prize ceremony, and the choice of the recipients has never been assessed based on a person's character, only on their works. Otherwise, that guy would never have been nominated in the first place. Zhong Yi smiled. Let's just eat. Anthony said, yes, we mustn't let this kind of person affect our mood. They ate. They drank. They chatted. Half an hour went by. Eventually, Bangalore finished causing a ruckus and was starting to walk to the entrance with a look of contempt. As he passed by, he suddenly gave Zhong Yi a look. Bangalore asked, "You're the author of Gone with the Wind?" Anthony became a little nervous. Felicia stepped in front of Zhong Yi. "What do you want?" But Zhong Yi just smiled. "That's me. Is anything the matter?" Bangalore looked at him for a long time. "You won't win the Nobel Prize." Zhong Yi chuckled. "Really?" Bangalore said, "If you don't believe me, wait for tomorrow." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Sure." Bangalore walked away while chuckling. Anthony said in annoyance, "Isn't that a provocation?" Felicia said, "Ignore him." Many of the Nobel Prize nominees gathered around, thinking that Zhong Yi would get angered. However, unbeknownst to them, Zhong Yi did not take this to heart at all. Elsewhere. China. On Weibo. Tomorrow is the Nobel Prize award ceremony. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see if face-smacking Zhong has the ability to win it. Are they going to broadcast it live? Of course they will. The award ceremony is broadcast live around the world. I can't wait. I heard that Bangalore is the only person who can compete with Zhong Yi, but his temper is not so good. Put, previous poster, are you joking? In the presence of Zhong Yi, who dares to claim that they have a bad temper? If anyone dares to say so, motherhecker, I'll take it up with them. Ha 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 ha. Damn, that's true, I take back my words. Many of the international media outlets are saying that the Indian writer has a bad temper. Did you guys read the news online? The Chinese people are all laughing at such reports. Those people have not seen Zhong Yi's hooliganism for themselves yet. There's really no way to compare. A person like Bangalore would only grumble and scold people at the most. But Zhong Yi? He dared to turn physical on you. Comparing their qualifications and number of works, Bangalore is probably much better than Zhong Yi. But when it comes to having a temper, on daring to fight, not even 10 Bangalores could beat Zhong Yi. Chapter 1607, the live broadcast of the Nobel Prize award ceremony begins. An uneventful night passed. The next morning, Ha Chichi and Little Wang knocked anxiously on the door. Little Wang said in panic, "Director Zhong, what happened last night?" Ha Chichi also hurriedly asked, "Did you get into a fight with Bangalore?" "What fight?" Zhong Yi had just woken up. Little Wang said, "We heard about what happened during the banquet last night." "The two of you?" Zhong Yi sighed. "He said without a care, he said that I wouldn't be able to win the Nobel Prize, so I just told him sure thing. It was just a simple exchange of words." "How did that become a fight?" Little Wang said timidly, "Why, you didn't hit him, did you?" Zhong Yi rolled his eyes and said, "Am I that sort of person?" Little Wang and Ha Chichi both rolled their eyes. "You're not that sort of person. If you aren't that sort of person, then who is? Have you ever held back from doing such things in the past?" Ha Chichi said with lingering fear, "It's good that you didn't hit him." If anyone else heard what Ha Chichi said, they would probably be vomiting blood right now. For a public figure, if they just gave a slight glance, had a slight conflict, or even spoke with a slight hint of sarcasm, the actions could easily get interpreted by the media for the headlines, much less if they hit someone. All of those actions would have an extremely serious impact, so how could they be sloppy about it? However, the staff from Zhong Yi's studio were different. They really did not ask for much from director Zhong. As long as he did not get into fights, or hit anyone, then he could do anything he wanted. Everything else was trivial. Zhong Yi looked at his watch. "What time is the award ceremony?" 10 in the morning, Ha Chichi said. Little Wang immediately said, "It's time to put on some makeup." Zhong Yi nodded. "All right." He ate breakfast. He did his makeup. He got into the line and waited to enter the venue. The award ceremony staff were very busy, and the international media outlets also descended on the venue for the event. Before getting admitted into the auditorium, there was going to be a brief outdoor interview. From here, you could see how popular some nominees were. To the surprise of many, a lot of reporters surrounded Zhong Yi, especially reporters from America, Russia, China, and even Japan. Bangalore. Felicia. and several others also received similar treatment. On the other hand, much fewer reporters were around the nominees from the chemistry and mathematics fields. This wasn't surprising at all. To the people of this world, the Nobel Prizes in mathematics, physics, and physiology or medicine were just too distant to them. These academic awards were not something that ordinary people could understand or participate in. They probably did not even know most of the scholars and professors who worked in these fields. However, the Nobel Prize in Literature was different. The nominees were all world-renowned authors, and every normal person had access to and could buy any of their books from a bookstore. They could also recognize them or even judge who was a better author and whose works were the better ones. It was the same thing for the Nobel Peace Prize, so naturally, people around the globe would be more intrigued by them. As such, the media paid special attention to these two awards, and the winners from each year would be greatly discussed by everyone around the world. This was also the reason why Zhong Yi had insisted on aiming for the Nobel Prize in Literature. It was much more popular than the mathematics and physics prizes. Zhong Yi's interview was in progress. The Chinese reporter said excitedly, "Teacher Zhong, you are the 10th person from China to be nominated for a Nobel Prize. Millions of Chinese citizens are looking forward to seeing you bring home a Nobel Prize." Zhong Yi smiled. "Sure, I'll do that." The Chinese reporter said excitedly, "You're that confident of bringing home the prize?" Zhong Yi nodded. "I'll ask them where they mint the medals afterwards." That Central TV reporter burst out laughing. "Who's asking you to mint a medal? I was asking you how confident you were of winning it." A female Russian reporter immediately said, "Professor Zhong, I'm a Russian journalist. The president has praised your novel endlessly and even started peace talks because of it. He has taken the most crucial step in these past few years, which in turn affected the state of world affairs. This is something that no literary work has been able to achieve so far." Zhong Yi smiled. "I've heard about it too." The Russian reporter said, "What do you think is the charm of your work?" An American reporter interjected, "In America, Gone with the Wind has sold extremely well. With the repeal of the last remaining Exclusion Act, tens of millions of people in North America have benefited greatly. Many black people and others who oppose racism have a high opinion of your work, and the impact of it on the world is still ongoing. Do you think this will help you to ascend onto the podium of the Nobel Prize in Literature?" Question after question. Zhong Yi answered them one by one with a smile on his face. He was neither humble nor arrogant. He spoke in a gentle and refined manner. He had a graceful demeanor. Many of the foreign reporters couldn't help but nod in agreement at his answers. China. At Zhong Yi's parents' house. Due to the time difference, it was already evening in Beijing. Has it started yet? Which station is it showing on? Central TV Department 1. Let me have a look. Ah, it has started. Ziqing, come quickly. The entire family sat down in front of the television. Cici also ran over. Where is Daddy? Where is Daddy? His mother pointed excitedly at the television. Look, quick, look. Your daddy is getting interviewed right now. Hey, what language is little Yi spouting? It's not being translated either. His father also hurriedly said, Ziqing, what is little Yi saying? Wu Ziqing chuckled and translated it for them. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house. His 3 sisters had gathered here. The live broadcast is starting. It's almost time for them to enter the venue. Wow, there's even an interview with our brother. Why are foreign reporters interviewing our brother as well? Our brother is so popular. His grandma gave them a stern look. Be quiet. Don't make such a ruckus. His grandpa was also quite excited. It's the Nobel Prize. I never could have imagined that my grandson would one day attend the Nobel Prize award ceremony. His second sister shouted, Brother, you can do it. His third sister also shouted, Bring glory to our country. At Yao Jiancai's house. Dad. Hurry over. It's on, it's on. The live broadcast has started? The interview finished. They'll be entering the venue soon. How long until they announce the prize winners? At least half an hour more, I think. Today is the most important day for Zhong'e since his career started. It's also a very important day for the Chinese entertainment industry and literary world. At the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Old Kai, I'm a little nervous. Me too, old Jew. It all depends on Zhongyi now. That's right. Whether he succeeds or fails, it all rests on this moment today. Hopefully, Zhongyi will give us something to cheer about. On Weibo. Pfut. This comedian. Look at that Central TV reporter. He's about to cry. Ha ha, he says he will ask them where they minted the medal. My sides hurt. Seeing how face-smacking Zhong can still crack a joke, it seems like he's still very relaxed. It's the Nobel Prize. Bring it back home. Supporting Zhong Yi. China's first Nobel Prize will all depend on whether Zhong Yi can get it. Japan. This fellow was really nominated? He's our sworn enemy. Does he intend to finish the comics or not? This damned eunuch. I'd rather the Indian writer win the award than him. Supporting our Japanese author. Good luck, teacher. The Nobel Prize in Literature will definitely be ours. Australia. We have a candidate who was nominated for the Physiology or Medicine Prize. Is there any hope of winning? I don't know. There are too many variables to consider for the Nobel Prize. Yeah. Even if someone is the favorite to win, they might not win it. It's too hard to say. Who do you all think will win the Literature Prize? I still think that the Indian writer has the best chance. Yeah, they haven't given it to Bangalore in the many years he was nominated, so I doubt the Nobel Prize Committee will be able to withstand the pressure to award it to him this time. It's obvious to all that Bangalore's works are very good. America. It's starting. Today will be very interesting. The winners of this year's awards will be revealed soon. Yeah, let's see who's the biggest winner. I think it's gonna very close this time. Too bad that our female author is out of the running one to win the Literature Prize. That's right, the sales of her new book suffered greatly due to competition from Gone with the Wind. England. We're the hosts for the awards this time, so our chances should be greater. Not necessarily. We can only fight for the economics prize. Right, we have a chance of winning that. We stand a chance at winning the Literature Prize too, right? I'm afraid we don't have any chance at the Literature Prize. The Chinese and Indian writers are too strong. But I'm not optimistic about the Chinese author's chances. China wants to win an international award, especially when it's the world's most prestigious Nobel Prize. So I doubt they'll give it to a Chinese man so easily. Yeah, no Chinese person has ever won a Nobel Prize. On this day. At this moment. 100 million people. 500 million people. 1 billion people. With the time in many countries getting late into the night due to the time difference, countless people crawled out of beds and turned on their televisions like China would during World Cup season. With a beer in their hands and some snacks, everyone started watching the live broadcast of the Nobel Prize. This world's Nobel Prizes were much more influential than the ones in Zhong Yi's world. Almost every country's television stations were showing the live broadcast, and all eyes around the world were focused on this event. They were all waiting for the award ceremony to begin so that they could find out who would walk away with the most prestigious prize in the world. Chapter 1608, The Award Ceremony. At the venue. In the auditorium where the award ceremony was held. The guests and nominees were gradually admitted inside. Hello, please produce your invitation. Here. Okay, thank you. Hello, may I have your invitation card please? Is it this one? Yes, you may enter. Security checks. Producing invitations. Verifying identities. Running facial recognition. All kinds of high-tech equipment were employed, and it made everything look very professional and formal. A person had to go through at least 3 rounds of checks before they could get admitted into the venue. After entering the auditorium, a dedicated English receptionist would greet the nominees and lead them and their family or entourage to their seats. Zhong Yi's seat was somewhere on the right side of the venue and further to the front in the second row. For the sake of convenience, Zhong Yi sat in the aisle seat. Ha Chichi and Little Wang both sat down on the inside beside him. At the back, Anthony also arrived. Zhong Yi turned around and smiled. "You're here?" "I'm sitting behind you," Anthony said. Immediately, Felicia came over and sat down with them as well. "Hi, did you all get a good night's sleep?" Zhong Yi said happily. It was all right. The nominees for the Nobel Prize in Literature had all been placed in this area. The female American writer arrived. India's Bangalore also arrived. Incidentally, he did not cause any trouble today after being admitted into the venue. He showed a cold and indifferent expression, scoffing when he saw Zhong Yi. He ignored all of the other nominees. By the looks of this, the Indian writer also understood that his biggest rival for the Nobel Prize was the Chinese writer. Ha Chichi whispered, "Is that him?" Little Wang also had a look at the Indian writer who was seated 2 rows behind them. What's he acting so smug about? The Japanese writer was the last to arrive, and he sat down right beside Anthony, close behind Zhong Yi. Anthony clearly knew him. "Why didn't I see you at last night's banquet?" The Japanese writer smiled. "My wife wanted me to go shopping with her." Felicia smiled and said, "You're such a good husband." Zhong Yi also turned around to take a look at him. Felicia introduced, "Oh yes, I would like to introduce a friend to you. This is Zhong Yi." Surprisingly, the Japanese writer snorted and did not answer. Zhong Yi smiled. He shrugged and didn't care. Anthony was a little taken aback. "Ah? What's the matter?" The Japanese writer rolled his eyes. "I don't wish to know this person." "Why not?" Felicia said, startled. In the end, it was Zhong Yi who spoke. He laughed and said, "His countrymen are not too friendly towards me." The Japanese writer was fuming. "Is it us who are unfriendly, or you who is unfriendly?" Anthony replied, "Zhong Yi is quite a nice person. Don't judge him by his appearance." The Japanese writer was floored. "Quite nice, my ass. What has that got to do with judging him by his appearance?" Felicia also tried to calm things down by saying, "The Indian author should be the person we should stand together against." As Felicia and Anthony did not know the inside story, they wondered why the Japanese writer would have such a bias against Zhong Yi. They thought that some kind of misunderstanding had happened. The Japanese writer was too angry to say anything. The Indian author? Not even 10 Bangalores can match the wickedness of this Zhong guy. Compared to Zhong Yi, the Indian author is the Edelweiss. How can you not know of his past deeds? Of all the people at the venue, the only people other than Ha Chichi and Little Wang who understood Zhong Yi the most would have to be the Japanese and Korean Nobel Prize nominees. The people of other nations might not be familiar with Zhong Yi, but how could they not be familiar with him? Although Zhong Yi had disappeared from the public eye for close to 4 years, the Japanese and Koreans still couldn't help but clench their teeth in hatred when his name was mentioned. Scolding. Fighting. Smashing cars. Trashing hotels. Making Trojans. He was the hooligan who committed all kinds of evil in Asia years ago. Yet you consider him to be the angel here? Don't you have it wrong? Last night, the Japanese writer did not show up at the banquet not because he had to go shopping with his wife. In fact, it was because she was afraid that Zhong Yi would cause trouble, so she decided to steer her husband away from him. As for Bangalore, the Japanese writer and his wife were not concerned about him at all. They both knew that the Indian author was only all bark and no bite. One was a sheep in wolf's clothing. The other was a wolf in sheep's clothing. There was no way to compare these two people. Only you guys would regard the Indian author as a troublesome person. But little can you imagine that the most troublesome person is actually this person talking and laughing beside you. At 10 a.m. sharp, the venue's doors were shut and the security checkpoints closed. For a moment, the entire auditorium fell silent. Everyone had arrived. Little Wang said nervously, "It's starting." Ha Chichi took a deep breath. "Which prize will they be announcing first?" Little Wang said, "It's always different each year." "I'm so nervous." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Calm down, this is a live broadcast." Little Wang also took a deep breath. However, her heart was still pounding. She couldn't be blamed for being nervous, because they knew how important this award was for director Zhong. It was the most prestigious prize in the entire world, with no other awards coming close. This was also the first time they were attending an international award ceremony, so it was no wonder they were nervous. Countless cameras were facing the stage. The venue of the award ceremony was looking as luxurious as a concert hall. The atmosphere, the decorations, the colors, all of it was vividly presented. Under the attention of the people of the world, the director of the Nobel Foundation went up on stage. Holding a microphone, he announced to the world with a smile, "Ladies and gentlemen, good morning." Applause thundered. The crowd clapped. Next, the Nobel Foundation's director delivered an opening speech that lasted for 10 minutes. It gave an in-depth explanation of the creation of the Nobel Prizes, the predecessor awards, the change of the award's name, the number of prizes that have been given out thus far, and so on, giving everyone a deeper understanding of and a recap on the value and history of the Nobel Prizes. This was because today happened to be the 50th anniversary of the Nobel Prize, so the ceremony was held in a grander manner. 10 minutes passed. The speech finished up. The audience broke out into applause. Every country's television stations had a real-time translation of the event as the viewers watching listened to it carefully. The live audience also listened intently, with almost no one getting distracted. To countless people, the Nobel Prizes represented a solemn and dignified award ceremony. Everyone respected the importance of this award and also the highest honor it brought to its recipients. On the stage, a ceremony employee walked on stage with a medal. The director took it from the employee and gave a smile. "So then, let me first announce this year's first Nobel Prize winner." With a pause, he held up a card and flipped it open. After voting by the Nobel Committee, the recipient of the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine is. It was all quiet in the audience. The viewers watching TV also hushed up. The nominees who were seated in the Physiology or Medicine zone were even quieter. Every one of them was staring at the stage with wide eyes. Then the director announced, the famous American MD won, Dr. James Strong. Immediately, the entire live audience looked in one direction. James looked very surprised. The people around him broke out into applause. Some of them also smiled bitterly in sorrow. Others kindly gave James hugs and celebrated his win. In the field of physiology and medicine, America was much more advanced than the rest of the world. For this Physiology or Medicine Prize, 7 of the 20 nominees were Americans. The predictions by the public also showed that an American would win this year's prize, just like they had won it the previous year. The only point of contention was which American doctor would be presented with the highest honor in the world. Unexpectedly, it was won by the youngest MD in the group, Dr. Strong. The director smiled. "Please come on stage to collect your medal." James was smiling broadly, hugging and kissing his friends around him. Then he strode on stage and received the medal from the director with a serious look. Thank you. I can't believe this." He was so excited he even stuttered while delivering his acceptance speech. Little Wang was very envious. Ha Chichi sighed. On this day, James's name would be entered into the annals of history. On this day, the entire world was cheering for him. This was the Nobel Prize, the highest honor in the entire world. Chapter 1609, the winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature is unveiled. America. It's ours. Well done. It's James. Ha 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 ha. England. Sure enough, it was won by an American. There's almost no suspense for the Physiology or Medicine Prize. Hi. The Netherlands. Congratulations to him. The medical world has another doctor who has ascended to the top. The Americans have occupied this position for the past 3 years. China. When will the Literature Prize be announced? The Literature Prize and Peace Prize have always been the last to get announced every year. I can't wait to find out. At the venue, James's acceptance speech ended. Round after round of applause rang out from the audience until James left the stage. All of the world's media were still showing him on their live broadcast. At this moment, he was the star of the show and the focus of attention of the entire world. Perhaps some people didn't know about James's contributions to the medical field, or this their first time hearing his name. However, that was not important now because everyone knew what it meant to be able to win a Nobel Prize. Ha Chi applauded. Zhong Yi was also clapping. After some time, the live broadcast cut back to the main stage. The foundation's director stepped back on stage. The director said, "Next up, I will be revealing the recipient of this year's Nobel Prize in Mathematics." All of a sudden, the Mathematics Prize nominee zone fell silent. Zhong Yi turned his attention to their direction with a look of interest. Little Wang said with a tinge of regret, "It's a pity we didn't get shortlisted for that award." Ha Chi said, "Yeah. If Director Zhong had been willing to make a push for it, we might have gotten nominated for the Nobel Prize in Mathematics as well. However, each person can only be nominated for one award each year. Otherwise, we could have vied for the Mathematics Prize, the Physics Prize, and the Literature Prize. Who knows, we might have won all three of them. Then that would truly be unprecedented." Zhong Yi rolled his eyes in response. "Old Ha, you're overthinking things." Ha Chi laughed and said, "In any case, we'll be vying for the Nobel Prize in Mathematics someday too." Little Wang said, "And the Physics Prize as well." Zhong Yi laughed. "We don't even know if I can get the Nobel Prize this time, but you two are already thinking about winning three of them? I don't even dare to think that far and high." On the stage, the director said in a clear voice, "The recipient of this year's Nobel Prize in Mathematics is English mathematician Hank House." Anthony cried out in surprise, "It's one of our English mathematicians." Everyone in the venue turned to look. All the cameras were now aimed at an old Englishman in his 70s. Hank House was slightly startled, although his expression didn't make him look particularly excited. However, when he pushed himself out of his chair, everyone discovered that his hands were trembling. They were trembling with excitement. There was thunderous applause. Ba 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 ba. When the old man went up on stage to receive his medal, the applause became even more enthusiastic. It was as though all of the world's applause was for him alone in this moment. Little Wang asked, "Director Zhong, do you know him?" Zhong Yi smiled and said, "I've heard of his name before, but I haven't had any dealings with him. He's a very famous mathematician in the global mathematics world and was nominated for the Nobel Prize when he was still in his 50s. This time, his wish has finally been fulfilled." The competition for the Mathematics Prize this time was a very close one. At least four of the candidates were very strong contenders for the prize, which had made it very difficult to distinguish who would win. Perhaps due to a variety of reasons and also after discussions by the committee, they decided to present the award to House in the end. He was a veteran in the field who had dedicated his entire life to mathematics. Next up, the Chemistry Prize, the Physics Prize, the Economics Prize won. The recipients were announced one by one. Each time they announced the results, the entire venue would shake from applause as it filled the auditorium. One after another, new Nobel Prize winners emerged. Right now, only the Literature Prize and Peace Prize remained to be awarded. These were also the prizes that attracted the most attention of the people each year and were the highlights of the award ceremony. Although there were cases of these two awards getting announced first in the previous years, it didn't happen often. By and large, they were announced at the end of the awards ceremony. These were also the Nobel Prizes that this world's people were most familiar with and the most interested in. In the rest of the world, France. We didn't even win a single one this time. What a pity. The Americans actually got two of the awards. In Germany, the Physics Prize is ours. Ha 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 ha. It's enough winning one. We're still the authoritative voice in the field of physics. Korea. There's nothing for us. We were only nominated for the Economics Prize, but it was won by an American. Hi, when will our country finally have a Nobel laureate of our own? Don't worry, there will surely be one in the future. The Chinese are in the same boat as us. They've never had any of their citizens win a Nobel Prize before. Ha ha, I feel better hearing that. India. It's here. The next award to be presented is the Literature Prize? You can do it, Bangalore. It's all up to you now. The Chinese and Japanese writers definitely can't beat you. Bring home the Nobel Prize for India. The award should have been yours 10 years ago. China. It's finally time. I'm so nervous. Will face-smacking Zhong stumble at the finish line? Who knows what the Nobel Committee will choose? Honestly, I still feel that Bangalore has a greater chance of winning. The main reason is that Zhong Yi's works are too few in number. In the global novels industry, he only has Gone with the Wind as his representative work. If he had more time to write a few more novels, he would stand a much greater chance of winning the award. At home. His mother was staring wide-eyed as she waited. It's almost time. His father took a deep breath and sat bolt upright. Wu Ziqing was smiling with Cece in her lap. Cece was also staring intently at the television with wide eyes. At Zhong Yi's studio. Everyone was here today. It's time for our turn. Director Zhong, you can do it. Give the award to us. Give the award to us. We're only one step away from breaking into the international celebrity rankings. Zhong Yuanqi's house. Ninglan was visiting today. Sister Zhong, do you think he can win it? I don't know. If he can do it, he will be making a great contribution to the country. It wouldn't just be a great contribution. He would be hailed as a national hero. Yeah, the Nobel Prize is too important to China. At Spring Gardens Place. Amy, come quickly. I have a stomachache. They're giving out that award soon. They are? Ayo, wait, let me pull on my pants first. Quick. Hurry up. Japan. They're about to announce the Literature Prize recipient. Just don't let Zhong Yi win it. Right, I'd rather the Indian writer win this Nobel Prize. It mustn't be given to that Chinese writer. The outside world was in a mess. Countless people were guessing about who would win. Countless people were debating who should win. Compared to the announcements for the mathematics and economics prizes, the Literature Prize was causing a great debate across the world before the winner was even announced. The amount of comments on the internet made it obvious, with 3, 4, or even 5 times more comments than the discussions that the other prizes had generated. Perhaps everyone around the world already had their choice of winner. Anthony gave Zhong Yi a nudge. It's all up to you. Zhong Yi said helplessly, everyone stands an equal chance of winning it. Felicia was also holding her breath. The Literature Prize nominees around them also looked very tense in this moment. The gaze of many of the reporters and other Nobel Prize nominees were directed over here as well. They saw how calm Zhong Yi looked. They saw how conflicted the Japanese author was. They also saw that haughty and arrogant look on the Indian author's face. The live broadcast camera was pointing at all of them, and everyone's expressions were different. The Nobel Committee's director was already standing on stage. The medal. The card. They were right beside him. When the card was flipped open, the name of the Literature Prize recipient would be announced. Nobody knew if the director was doing it intentionally, but he took out the card very slowly, likely because he knew that the global viewership was at its peak and that the attention given to the Literature Prize and Peace Prize was completely different from the previous awards. The director smiled. There are still 2 more Nobel Prizes to announce. The people in the audience could no longer sit still. Many of the viewers watching TV were also getting very anxious. The director said, so then, I'll first announce the recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature. Gulp. Gulp. The sound of him swallowing could be heard. The director said in a slow manner, the recipient of this year's Nobel Prize in Literature is, 1 second. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. The director looked into the audience and announced, Indian author Bangalore. Little Wang's face fell. It's over. Anthony could only give Zhong Yi a squeeze on the shoulders. Alas. Felicia kept shaking her head. As expected. The Japanese author sighed. Only Bangalore was smiling with delight. It was the first time a lot of people saw him smile. However, the applause at the venue wasn't enthusiastic in the least. This was because everyone viewed him as the hooligan of the literary world. Hachichi felt a little dejected and said, "Director Zhong?" Zhong Yi let out a chuckle and said, "It's all right, there will be another chance in the future." But how can we wait any longer?" Little Wang said bitterly. Zhong Yi smiled and said, "I'm lucky if I get it, it's my fate if I don't." He knew that his chances of winning this Nobel Prize were not that great. If he could win it, he would naturally be very excited. But not winning it was expected as well. Ever since Zhong Yi boarded the plane in Beijing to come to England, he knew. Chapter 1610, The Kick That Shocked the World. China. On Weibo. Heck this. We've lost the Nobel Prize. It's gone, everything is gone. It's been won by that Indian writer. Hi, it's over for us. I've been anticipating it for a long time. The media also reported that this was the closest that China was to winning a Nobel Prize. In the end, we still couldn't get it. Face-smacking Zhong has failed this time. It's not like he could help it. That's the Nobel Prize we're talking about. Zhong Yi has never lost when it comes to domestic awards, but the Nobel Prize is the world's most prestigious award. Perhaps it was still a step too far for us. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house, his three sisters roared with rage. Damn it! Do they not have eyes? It obviously should have been awarded to our brother. The Indian has cheated his way to a win again. At home, his father looked on in regret. His mother pointed at the television and started scolding. What the heck? Hi. There must be some kind of conspiracy. At the studio, sighs sounded from all over the room. Some of the female employees were even trying to hide tears. It still couldn't be done. Is it so much to ask to win the Nobel Prize? I can't accept this. Me neither. Gone with the Wind isn't any worse than those other books. At the Chinese Writers Association, we couldn't win it after all. What a pity. Yeah, we were so close. We only missed out by a little bit. Never mind, Zhong Yi has done quite well already. London. Lillian's house. What a pity. Sis, is he your Chinese friend? Yes, I was even the one who suggested that he try for the Nobel Prize. India. The people were all cheering. Oh my God. It's ours. We've won it. Long live Bangalore. Long live India. Unbelievable. India has finally gotten a Nobel Prize laureate. Ha 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 ha. I knew it, I knew that the Chinese and Japanese authors would not get the Nobel Prize. I really wish I could see the face of that Chinese author right now. In Germany, the Indian writer has gotten the last laugh. This is a very important award. It was unexpected, but still within reason. This year's winner of the Literature Prize has finally been unveiled. Japan. I figured it would be him. It's such a pity that we didn't manage to win it. It's good as long as it's not Zhong Yi who gets the Nobel Prize. That's true. Congratulations to the Indian author. China. The UK. Korea. Greece. Finland. Canada. When the Nobel Prize in Literature was announced, every country in the world blew up. The netizens discussed it like crazy. The media reports were numerous as well. At the award ceremony, the director smiled and said, "Would Mr. Bangalore please come on stage to collect his medal?" Bangalore smoothed his clothes and rose from his seat, all smiles. Then he strode up to the stage in high spirits. At this moment, it could be said that Bangalore was the person with the most attention on him in the entire world. The Literature Prize had such great influence. He went up on stage. He received his medal. They took a picture together. On the big screen behind the stage, Bangalore's works over the years were listed. The dense list of novels dumbfounded everyone. Little Wang said, "He has written so many books." Hachichi said, "It's just that we have too few works." It's only because director Zhong doesn't have the time to write them. Little Wang had absolute confidence in Zhong Yi's writing ability and speed. If we had another half a year, director Zhong could surely 20 novels for them. Felicia consoled, Zhong, come back again next year. Zhong Yi smiled. All right. Anthony also comforted the Japanese author. The Japanese author said, I was already prepared for this. This event gave Zhong Yi a better understanding of the Nobel Prizes. While he had intended to use one novel to win the Nobel Prize, he realized now that he had thought too simply. In his previous world, a lot of people still missed out on winning the Nobel Prize even after writing for an entire lifetime, finishing 10 books, 20 books, or even 30 books. This included many of the famous literary giants, so for him to win a Nobel Prize with just one work, that really did seem to be quite impossible. Hi, I should have competed for some other prize. The mathematics prize? The physics prize? Perhaps I'd have stood a better chance for those. However, it was too late. Besides, there wasn't enough time for him to do anything. Under the attention of countless people, Bangalore picked up the microphone. Everyone in the audience was looking at him. The viewers around the world watching the live broadcast were also looking at him. However, the moment the Indian author opened his mouth, many people were flabbergasted. Bangalore cleared his throat and said proudly with a laugh, first of all, I would like to thank the Nobel Prize Committee. After 10 years, they finally made one correct decision. The people in the audience burst into an uproar. People all over the world were speechless. Made just one correct decision in 10 years? So the previous winners of the Nobel Prize in Literature were blindly selected then? They only got it right when they chose you this time? Anthony was speechless. As was Felicia. And so was the director of the Nobel Foundation. Everyone around the world rolled their eyes. They'd long heard of Bangalore being the biggest hooligan in the global literary field, and it was indeed true. Zhong Yi was bemused. He looked at the stage and listened to him speak. Then Bangalore raised his medal and continued, this medal should have been mine 10 years ago. As such, I won't be giving any further thanks to anyone. This is because this medal is what the Nobel Foundation owes me. It's what the entire world owes me. I will forego the interest owed to me in the last 10 years. India. Ha ha ha. That arrogance. This should be how it is. Good one, Bangalore. Right, this is what the world owes us. China. This idiot must be crazy. I'm gonna faint. Where did this dumbass come from? He can even win the Nobel Prize like this? He's not afraid that the Nobel Prize Committee will take the prize away from him? America. What kind of person is this? The Nobel Prize Committee owes him the award? He's too arrogant. This guy is so obnoxious. Korea. I wanna beat him up. Me too. This Indian is asking for a beating. Where does he get his confidence? The entire world was scolding. There were voices of doubt all across the venue. After Bangalore's acceptance speech, there was not a single clap for him. Most foreigners were very graceful, especially on an occasion like the Nobel Prize. No matter how much they disliked someone, they would still applaud them if they won. This was the minimum respect and decorum they could show. But Bangalore's speech was so outrageous that no one wanted to applaud him. Everyone present was muttering something. This is so exasperating. The world owes you the prize? HMPH. The situation was very awkward. There was no applause. There was no movement. But Bangalore was indifferent to it all. He swaggered off the stage with the medal in hand. The reporters from the international media outlets were all looking at him with their mouths agape. The cameras in their hands were not flashing either. The live broadcast camera kept its focus on him with a close-up the entire time. The Nobel Prize Committee members in the audience looked like they were already regretting their decision. Some people face-palmed. Some looked furious. Walking back towards his seat, Bangalore even gave Zhong Yi a smile. No one knew if it was intentional, but he also raised the medal slightly at him as if making a statement. Little Wang glared at him. Ha Chichi curled her lips. Only Zhong Yi was smiling. The foundation's director went up on stage again. Bangalore walked past Zhong Yi as he returned to his seat. But right at this moment, just as the live broadcast camera was about to cut back to the main stage, an unbelievable scene that no one in the world could have expected happened. Anthony saw a leg. Something blurred across Felicia's vision. The Japanese author stared wide-eyed in shock. The entire world's people also saw a leather shoe on the television screen as it smugly materialized in the picture. The leg appeared right in front of Bangalore's feet. No one could react to it. The people at the venue could not. The people watching TV could not. Bangalore was even more unprepared for it. Ah! Bangalore shrieked. The next moment, the Indian author's entire body was thrown off balance. With a loud bang, he slammed into the ground. The medal broke. Bangalore took a hard fall. Pieced. Blood was spurting from a cut above his eyebrow. At this moment, it was as though time had stopped. It was as though the entire world had frozen. Chapter 16:11, The people of the world fall to their knees. At the venue. On TV. The entire world was silenced. Ha Chichi was dumbfounded. Little Wang's jaw dropped. Anthony's jaw dropped. Felicia's jaw dropped. In the live broadcast camera, the economics prize winner who was taking a sip of water spat it out. Nothing like that had happened before in all 50 years of the Nobel Prize award ceremony. The nominees, staff, guests, media reporters, and even the viewers watching television at home were all dumbfounded at this moment. It was as though 10,000 grass mud horses had galloped past in front of their eyes. England. The internet blew up. Holy shit. Who is that? Whose leg was it? Jesus. What just happened? God, what did I just see? The literature prize winner was tripped. Japan. Who was that? Why does that leg look so familiar? It's Zhong Yi. I saw it. It was Zhong Yi. Damn, was it really him? How is he so bold? What does he not dare to do? True that, this fellow was really notorious back then. Korea. Oh my God. Zhong Yi is crazy. This leg looks familiar. At the Olympics, he did exactly the same thing by tripping an international referee. Oh yeah, I remember now. This isn't the first time he's done something like this. I'm gonna faint. He's too bold. I really have to take my hat off to this Chinese guy. America. It's him? Gone with the Wind's author? The hooligan of the literary field, Bangalore, was tripped by someone. Tripping someone at the Nobel Prize award ceremony? Is that Chinese author crazy? My God. Why are there so many hooligans in the literary field? This is a global broadcast. Yeah, everyone in the world is watching this. India. The people's resentment was boiling over. Heck your sister. Zhong Yi. That Chinese guy is so despicable. That bastard. How dare he do that? This is provocation. He purposely trying to make a fool of us. Back at home. His mother was shocked. His father nearly fell off the sofa. His mother asked, "Old Zhong, was that our son's leg?" His father said, dabbing at his sweat, "I think so." Wu Ziqing affirmed, "It was him." His mother broke down and bellowed, "This is a global broadcast." At Central TV. The live broadcast studio was terribly quiet at this moment. The host and the studio's guest commentator were stunned. The host said, it seems like an accident has happened at the venue." The guest commentator said, sweating, "What on earth just happened? Let's play it back in slow motion." A lot of people who were watching the Central TV live broadcast nearly burst out laughing. A replay? In slow motion? Do you think this is a soccer match? It was the first time they had encountered a slow-motion replay for an award ceremony. At Spring Gardens Place. Xiaodong went crazy. Li Xiaoxian's legs turned to rubber. Amy was dumbfounded. Did you guys see that? Yes. I didn't see it wrong, did I? No, you didn't. I'm gonna faint. At Zhong Yi's studio, many of the staff fell out of their chairs. Director Zhong. What the heck? It's over. We're done for. This is going to turn into something major. Are we going to get blacklisted from the Nobel Prizes? On Weibo. Face-smacking Zhong has gone mad. Zhong Yi is gonna soar to the heavens. Damn, he really turned physical. This is a global broadcast. It's a hecking global broadcast. Teacher Zhong, I'm kneeling to you. The entire world is watching the live broadcast. This is the Nobel Prize award ceremony? Do you think that is happening back at home? Ayo, I really have to hand it to Teacher Zhong. I'm genuflecting as well. Teacher Zhong is too rash. He always gets into a fight without any warning. Like he'd care that this is broadcast live around the world. This is great. Face-smacking Zhong's notoriety is gonna spread across the world this time. I knew it. I knew that Teacher Zhong would cause some trouble when he went overseas. This fellow doesn't give a heck about the occasion. The glory of that trip feels so familiar. Of course it feels familiar. Back here at home, who knows how many people have already been felled by the feet of Zhong Yi. This is the hecking Zhong Yi's claim to fame move. Mother hecker, why do I feel like laughing the more I hear you guys talk about this? Pfft, ha 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 ha. I can't hold it in any longer either. Although it's a little inappropriate, I would still like to say, Teacher Zhong, beautifully done. That Indian author was absolutely asking for it. He asked for it by being a show-off in front of Zhong Yi. It's been 4 years, but face-smacking Zhong's temper is still the same as ever. He still takes action when it's called for and never hesitates to do so. Yao Jiancai. Ning Lan. Zhong Yuanqi. Zhong Yi's family. Zhong Yi's friends. The Chinese citizens. The Japanese citizens. The French citizens. The Australian citizens. Countless countries around the world were left kneeling. Why would you dare to do that? How could you do something like that? Why you too mean? At the venue, the live broadcast was still continuing. Bangalore got up angrily and pointed at Zhong Yi. He roared at him, "What did you do?" Then everyone became even more exasperated. Zhong Yi looked straight at Bangalore's bloody face and asked in confusion, "Huh? What's wrong?" Bangalore nearly fainted in anger. "You." Anthony was stunned. Felicia was stunned. The 4 physicists that Zhong Yi had gotten to know were also stunned. What kind of expression is that? Just what the heck is that expression? Can you be any more thick-skinned than this? The trip had been witnessed by everyone in the venue and around the world. But to everyone's surprise, Zhong Yi was playing dumb before everyone. Anthony wiped at his sweat. Zhong, the Japanese author snorted and said, "So now you know why I was unwilling to get to know him? You've seen it for yourself? The biggest hooligan in the global literary field has actually been sitting close to you all this while. Yet you considered him the angel." The Japanese author didn't appear surprised by what Zhong Yi did at all. Felicia and Anthony were speechless. Little Wang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Director Zhong. Hachichi covered her face and felt like she had been completely disgraced. If this had been recorded, so be it. They could edit out this incident. Even if it would still cause a stir, it could be containable at least. Unfortunately, this had to happen on a live broadcast. And it was even hecking broadcast live around the world. The winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature gets attacked by a Chinese author? Thinking about the headlines that would be splashed across international media, Hachichi was speechless. But Zhong Yi thought otherwise. His take on this matter was extremely simple. He had been unhappy with the behavior of the Indian for a long time. Acting arrogant with me? Saying that the world owes you the prize? You're even feeling all righteous about saying that? Heck off. If I had gotten the Nobel Prize, I would have cared about my image and my actions. But since the prize has already been awarded, it has nothing to do with this bro anymore. Why would I still care who you are? I don't give a damn at all. Chapter 16:12, The Nobel Peace Prize is announced. In a certain country. In a household. Mom, come quickly. What's the matter, Tom? The winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature has been tripped by someone. Tom, children shouldn't tell lies. It's true, Mom. Impossible, this is broadcast live around the world. I swear it happened. Come and see, quick. What? Similar scenes were playing out around the world. Many people around the world who were originally uninterested in the Nobel Prize award ceremony had also been called over to watch it by their families and friends. They sat down in front of their televisions with a look of shock. The Literature Prize and Peace Prize had always been the highlights of the award ceremony and were closely watched by people all over the world. The number of people watching had already doubled or tripled from the prior announcements of the other prizes. But now that Bangalore had been tripped, the viewership ratings of the Nobel Prize award ceremony started increasing at a terrifying rate. The global viewership ratings. The global viewership numbers. They were all rising like crazy. On an international social media site. In just a short time, this trending news kept popping up. Oh my God. I've dug up some news regarding that Chinese author. What news? It's about the things that he did in Asia in the past. I found something too. Oh my God. He gave up an award? It was an international math award? He beat up an Olympic referee? He trashed a hotel? So that Japanese hotel got trashed because of him? He even beat up a Korean celebrity too? The panda burning incense and CIH viruses were created by him? Back then, hackers from all over the world viewed China as a forbidden zone, and many well-known hacker groups from all over the world declared that they would not invade the Chinese internet in at least 10 years. So it was all because of this Chinese author? Just what kind of a person is he? There's actually such a hooligan of a person in the world? At the venue, the medical personnel rushed over. They helped Bangalore up and treated his wound. John Yi. Just you wait. Just you wait, I tell you. Bangalore was yelling in fury. Faced with an out-of-control scenario, the venue's staff rushed over to calm him down. Mr. Bangalore, please rest for a while. We're still in the middle of the live broadcast. Let's wait until after the award ceremony to handle things. Bangalore nearly fainted in anger. Why are you still giving awards out? Beside him, quite a few nominees were also trying to persuade him. Calm down. Let's wait until the awards are all given out. The entire world is watching. You're not that badly hurt anyway. The medal can be replaced even if it broke. Bangalore saw red at the words. Heck you. How is this not that badly hurt? Why don't you hecking crash to the ground before saying that? Everyone chipped in with a word or two, but none of them sided with Bangalore. He had offended too many people over the years, plus the acceptance speech he had just given probably added even more people to that list. The wicked could only be subdued by the wicked, so when they finally saw someone who was willing to stand up to Bangalore and teach him a lesson, a lot of them couldn't help but gloat in their heads. They thought to themselves, you're usually so smug, but now you've finally met a tough opponent. In the corner, several Nobel Prize nominees were laughing under their breaths. The Indian author has been totally disgraced. He asked for it by behaving so arrogantly. He probably did not think that he would meet someone who is more of a hooligan than him. That Indian author only knows how to talk tough. Yeah, that Chinese author is the real badass here. I didn't expect that he could be such a thorn in the side because he was all smiles and being so friendly. How do you guys think this matter will be handled? Who knows? Several of the foundation's people also came over to persuade Bangalore. Finally, Bangalore clenched his teeth and sat back down. All right, I'll wait for the award ceremony to finish. I want a fair explanation of this after that. And a proper answer for my country. The drama was temporarily glossed over. The Nobel Foundation's people heaved a sigh of relief. Only then did the director, who was standing onstage all this while, pick up the microphone again. He smiled apologetically and said to the live audience members and into the live broadcast camera, "Sorry to keep everyone waiting. There was a small incident. I hope it didn't affect anyone. Next, I will be announcing the winner for this year's Nobel Peace Prize, the last Nobel Prize that we will be giving out this year." Following that, the explanation of the prize began. 1 minute. 2 minutes. Perhaps the director was trying to turn the atmosphere at the award ceremony back around, so he gave a very interesting explanation of the history of the Nobel Peace Prize. Gradually, many of the live audience members and viewers watching TV refocused on the awards. Although they had gone through an unprecedented side show, everyone still managed to refocus their attention back on the award ceremony when it was time for the Nobel Peace Prize winner to be announced, the Literature Prize and the Peace Prize. These were two of the most anticipated and valuable awards of the Nobel Prizes. If there had to be a comparison, then needless to say, the Peace Prize would definitely have to be much more important than the Literature Prize. The Nobel Peace Prize was the only award that was not given out every year. For example, last year, 5 years ago, 9 years ago, there were no winners at all. This also reflected the value and weight of the Nobel Peace Prize. In addition, it was one of the hardest Nobel Prizes to win as the entry barrier to it was the highest. Nothing else came close. In the history of the Nobel Peace Prize, the winners were all very famous and important people in the world. Presidents, premiers, prime ministers, chairmen, great philanthropists. Since they could not invite such people to the award ceremony, the Nobel Peace Prize was the only Nobel Prize that didn't have any nominees. Everyone in the venue was discussing. Which president will it be this year? The Russian president? He already won the Peace Prize 4 years ago. Oh, right, I forgot. The current American president has also won it before. Although it was very controversial, he did win it. Then there isn't really anyone left to pick from. Will it go unawarded again this year? In the crowd, there were also people who didn't care. Like Zhong Yi, for example. He crossed his legs and leaned back in his seat, no longer bothering to act like a gentleman. Since he didn't manage to win the Nobel Prize, he was no longer interested in the other awards. Little Wang scratched her head. He won't call the police, will he? Hachichi said bitterly, why do we always manage to get into trouble with the police whenever we're overseas? Little Wang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She said, I guess that's our lot in life. In any case, I'm used to it. Zhong Yi said, why aren't they continuing with the award ceremony? We can head back to Beijing after all of this is done. Hachichi rolled her eyes and said, we might not even be able to make it back home. Zhong Yi shrugged and said, if anything happens, I'll just get locked up over here for a few days. You two can go back first. You make it sound so simple. Hachichi said helplessly, I reckon Little Wang's and my passports are also going to get put on the global blacklist. In the future, I doubt anyone will let us into their countries. Anthony was a local. Zhong, if you really get into trouble with the police, I'll bail you out. Zhong Yi smiled. He turned around and said, just by that, I'm making you a friend. Then he laughed and said, there's no need to bail me out. I've had a lot of experience in situations like this. Little Wang pouted and replied in English, Mr. Anthony, you don't have to worry. In this aspect, our director Zhong has been through many of such experiences. He has already had many run-ins with the police of a lot of countries. Anthony said, huh? Felicia clasped her forehead. Their attention was no longer on the award ceremony. Behind, Bangalore was fuming and glaring at Zhong Yi. He wasn't looking at the stage at all. At this moment, an awards staff member brought up a red card and handed it to the director. The foundation's director nodded and then gently said with a smile, next up, I will be announcing the winner of this year's Nobel Peace Prize. He raised the card and flipped it open. The director looked at it for a few seconds. The entire world's people were holding their breaths. Zhong Yi was still chatting with Anthony and the others. Bangalore was still glaring at Zhong Yi. All of a sudden, the director raised his head and looked into the audience with a smile. This year's Nobel Peace Prize winner is, his name is, 1 second. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. The director said calmly, the Chinese author, Zhong Yi. Zhong Yi was still in the midst of a conversation when he suddenly looked up. Little Wang was so surprised that she squealed. Hachichi was absolutely dumbfounded. Anthony was stunned. Felicia was shocked. Bangalore fell out of his seat. In this moment, it fell silent in the venue. The entire world went silent. Chapter 16:13, I Have a Dream. At the venue, it was dead quiet. So quiet that the sound of Bangalore crashing to the floor could be heard. So quiet that the sounds of a few Nobel Prize nominees doing spit takes could be heard. Zhong Yi was still leaning back in his seat with a posture that wasn't very proper, with his hand maintaining the posture from when he was chatting with Anthony and Felicia. He turned his head to the stage and looked dumbfoundedly at the director, then at the winner's card in his hands. Little Wang's jaw was hanging. What did he say? Hachichi said in shock, Zhong Yi? Felicia looked like she had her tail stepped on. Chinese author? Anthony was going crazy. The Nobel Peace Prize? Zhong Yi pointed at himself in disbelief. Me? Bangalore became agitated. This is impossible. If the prize recipient was only known as Zhong Yi, everyone would surely think that it was just someone with the exact same name. However, when the announcement of the prize winner was made, the director added the prefix, Chinese author, to his name. Only one person had the name of Zhong Yi and could be called a Chinese author in this event. Instantly, everyone at the venue stared at him in shock. Instantly, the live broadcast cameras aimed at him in a frenzy. Then screams rang out. Oh my God! The Peace Prize? A Chinese author? Heavens! This, who can tell me what just happened? This is the Nobel Peace Prize we're talking about. The most important of the Nobel Prizes. Could they have gotten it wrong? Could the Nobel Foundation have made a mistake? Watching TV. Zhong Yi's parents were dumbfounded. His parents-in-law were dumbfounded. His 3 sisters were dumbfounded. The staff of Zhong Yi's studio were dumbfounded. Yao Jiansai was dumbfounded. Ninglan was dumbfounded. Spring Garden was dumbfounded. China. Japan. Korea. America. The UK. Russia. The entire world's people were dumbfounded. People around the world stared at their television in shock and could not believe their ears. Not just them, even Zhong Yi, who was sitting in the audience, could not believe it either. Perhaps he had thought about getting the literature prize, or even the mathematics prize and the physics prize. But the Nobel Peace Prize? He had never even thought of it before. Not a single thought at all. Me? The Peace Prize? Are you kidding me? How could I have anything to do with this prize ever in my lifetime? Suddenly, Little Wang exclaimed, Director Zhong. The Americans repealed that Exclusion Act. Hachichi also thought of something. And the peace talks that Russia is holding. Zhong Yi was stunned. Repealing the bill? The Russian peace talks? What the hell has that hecking got to do with me? At this moment, the Nobel Foundation's director who was standing on stage looked at Zhong Yi with a smile. He picked up the microphone and said, This is the first time that the Nobel Peace Prize has been presented during the ceremony itself. Would the recipient please come up on stage to receive the prize and give an acceptance speech? After a pause, he said, Mr. Zhong Yi, please come up on stage. Anthony nudged him. Zhong. Go on. Felicia said excitedly, Zhong. Quickly go and accept the prize. Hurry up. Only then did Zhong Yi stand up in a daze. A lot of people were currently looking at the director in shock. Only then did they remember that this director of the Nobel Foundation was a black person. Bangalore went crazy. A lot of others at the venue also went crazy. Their minds were no longer able to process this. If Zhong Yi hadn't tripped someone, they might not have had such a great reaction. But what exactly happened earlier? Everyone around the world saw the Chinese man trip the Nobel laureate in literature to the ground. A person like this. A hooligan like this. Someone who was so full of violence. The Nobel Peace Prize? Heck, your sister. This doesn't make any sense at all. There must have been a mistake. Zhong Yi had gone on stage. That black director nodded while smiling and handed the medal to Zhong Yi. This is the first time a Peace Prize has been awarded to a writer. A novel that helped America repeal the last remaining Exclusion Act. A novel that saved the citizens of Russia and many neighboring countries from the baptism of war. A novel that helped the entire world realize the horrors of war and the importance of unity. It saved hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of people from going through war. Today, I am very proud and honored to be able to hand this medal to you. Zhong Yi accepted it in a daze. The director made a gesture to take it from there before walking off the stage. The rest of the time was to be allocated to Zhong Yi. The cameras of the media were all aimed at him. At this moment, the entire world's attention was on Zhong Yi's face. Everyone knew that this Chinese man must have not prepared a speech. Perhaps he did prepare one, but it would definitely have been for the Literature Prize instead. Zhong Yi took the microphone. He had no idea what to say. It's me? It's really me? Hans wiped his sweat away. Zhong doesn't believe it himself either. Anna could also see that. Who can believe it? Paige gave a wry smile. Do the Russian negotiations and the repeal of the American bill really have anything to do with him? A mathematician nearby added, let's see what he has to say. Ha Chichi clenched her fists. Come on, Director Zhong. Little Wang said anxiously, say something. Hurry up and say something. Then Zhong Yi spoke. On the stage. Right here. On this day. Zhong Yi delivered a speech that would shock the entire world. He looked at the camera and everyone else. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Africa sons of former slaves, and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even India, a country sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. The people in the live audience were stunned. The viewers watching TV were also dumbfounded from hearing the speech. Some people's blood was racing with excitement. Some people wanted to vomit blood. For example, Bangalore nearly blew his top. India? Sweltering with the heat of injustice? Sweltering with the heat of oppression? Heck your grandpa! Zhong Yi said loudly, this is our hope. With this faith we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for peace together, knowing that we will have peace one day. With every word, he spoke louder and louder. Zhong Yi raised both his hands. And so let peace ring from the prodigious hilltops of America. Let peace ring from the mighty mountains of India. Let peace ring from the snow-capped Urals of Russia. Let peace ring from the volcanic mountains of the Atlantic. From every mountainside, let peace ring. The venue was shocked. The world was shocked. This was, of course, their first time listening to this speech. But if the people from Zhong Yi's previous world were present, they would definitely find it familiar, very familiar, extremely familiar, because this was one of the greatest speeches given back in Zhong Yi's previous world. It was called I Have a Dream. Immediately, applause rang out. Anthony jumped to his feet. Bravo! Felicia was also quite excited. Well said. Little Wang's hands were red from clapping. Well done, Director Zhong. Ha Chichi was so excited she was overwhelmed by a rush of emotions. That was fantastic. It was so well said. Director Zhong was still Director Zhong. He would never drop the ball at the critical juncture. So what if he hadn't prepared a speech? So what if there was no draft? This was Zhong Yi they were talking about. On any occasion, at any time, he would not require a prepared speech. Applause. Screams. Cheers. A lot of people couldn't help clapping when they heard this speech. Quite a few people from the Nobel Foundation were also nodding in approval as they stood up to clap. The Japanese author rolled his eyes. Bangalore also found himself going crazy. You have a dream. Let peace ring? Like I'd hecking believe you. You don't need to write a draft to bullshit, do you? The world's #1 hacker. The panda burning incense that destroyed Korea. Making weapons for China. Trashing a Japanese hotel. Beating up a Korean celebrity. And even resorting to underhanded moves at the Nobel Prize award ceremony to hit someone. There really wasn't another person as much a hooligan as him in the world. He really was the most notorious bastard in the entire world. The Nobel Peace Prize? Goddammit, did you make a mistake? How did you see any signs of peace in this bastard? On the stage. At this moment, Zhong Yi was also very confused. Even he himself felt that this was a tad nonsensical. He had thought that getting the literature prize would have been good enough, but he had never expected that he would actually end up with the Nobel Peace Prize instead. This was an even bigger award than the Nobel Prize in Literature. Chapter 1614, The Entire World is Made to Laugh. Japan. Countless citizens closed their eyes in disbelief. Oh no. Oh my God. Please tell me this is not true. Why is it him? How can it be him? Yeah, how can it be this guy? That unit won the Peace Prize? Korea. There was a wave of cries in the country. Those who had been infected by the panda-burning incense virus years ago nearly flipped their tables and started cursing. This, they really gave it to him? Holy heck! Is the Nobel Prize Committee stupid? He tripped over the Indian author just now. It happened just a while ago. Didn't you guys see that? Did you really not see that? Has the committee gone crazy? The UK. This is unbelievable. They actually gave it to a Chinese man? The Peace Prize is the most important award of the Nobel Prizes. This award is too unexpected. No one could have expected this. Zhong Yi? I'll remember his name. This person is truly capable. He was obviously unprepared before going on stage, yet he could deliver such a rousing speech. Impressive. India. The citizens were enraged. Countless people were cursing and swearing. Sweltering with the heat of injustice? Sweltering with the heat of oppression? He even wants the sound of peace to ring out from our country? You're the one who's sweltering with the heat of injustice. You were the one who tripped teacher Bangalore, yet you're still hecking making sarcastic remarks about us? Why don't you just die? This person is too infuriating. How can there be such a shameless person around? America. This dramatic news also shocked the American people. The Nobel Prize has been won by a Chinese person for the first time. The crucial thing is that it's the Peace Prize. There has never been a Chinese person who has stood on such a high pedestal. China these days feels different. Zhong Yi? This Chinese guy is quite different. An international hacker group. Many of the members were dumbfounded by the news. Holy shit! Even a hacker can win the Nobel Peace Prize? What has become of the world? Boss, why don't you make a push for the Nobel Prizes next year as well? Get lost. Back at home. His mother said dumbfoundedly, "It's really my son." Wu Ziqing acknowledged and said with a smile, "We've gotten the Nobel Prize." His mother asked again, "My son really won it?" His father got so emotional that his eyes reddened. "Yes. It's our son. The Nobel Peace Prize. You've been repeating yourself more than 10 times. Then his mother went crazy and took out her cell phone. "Quick! Give our relatives and friends a call." His father said, "There's no need to do that. Everyone has definitely found out. Cece's childish voice rang out. Daddy is awesome. Daddy is awesome. At Zhong Yi's maternal grandma's house. There were also screams in this house. Our brother has won. He's won. So cool. It's really our brother. We have a cousin who's a Nobel Prize laureate. That's right. That's right. I can brag about this for the rest of my life. His grandparents were also looking at the television in astonishment. They didn't know how to express what they were feeling. At his in-laws' house, Li Qingqing was thrilled and excited. Wu Changhe looked very stunned. The Peace Prize? At Zhong Yi's studio, everyone was roaring in celebration. We've won. We've won. Someone was crying. We really did it. We really won. Director Zhong is gonna blow up. We'll be breaking into the International Celebrity Rankings Index soon. A lot of the studio staff were already in tears. They were crying and shouting at the same time. But no matter how many words they said or tears they cried, it was still not enough to express the excitement they had. At the Chinese Academy of Sciences, it was chaos here as the 8 buildings were overrun by shouting. He's won it. Professor Zhong has won the Nobel Prize. Oh my God. Oh my God. He really pulled it off. Ha 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 ha. Old Jew. What did I say? Ah. What did I say? I knew this kid wouldn't have a problem. I knew he could do it. At Central TV. In the live broadcast studio. The host was incoherent. The host said, he won it. He won it. The Nobel Peace Prize is ours. The Nobel Prize has been awarded to a Chinese person for the first time. Even the guest stood up and declared loudly, please remember this day, everyone. Please remember this name. Zhong Yi. He has won the first Nobel Prize for China. I'm very proud right now. I'm proud of Teacher Zhong, and I'm proud to be Chinese. The female host was also tearing up. My current emotions echo Professor Sun's. Everyone witnessed how Teacher Zhong missed out on the Nobel Prize in Literature and might have turned off their television right after. But who could have expected that at the end, at the very last moment, Teacher Zhong Yi managed to bring a Nobel Peace Prize home? This moment belongs to the Chinese people. It is the moment when China's name is ringing out across the entire world. Amazing! Teacher Zhong, you're fantastic. At Spring Gardens Place, Amy's mouth was still wide open. She hadn't been able to close her mouth all this while. Xiaodong, who still looked very shocked, was unable to believe her ears. She pointed at the television and asked Li Xiaoxian, who was next to her, Zhong Yi. Yes. The Peace Prize? Yes. Xiaodong nearly vomited blood. Dong Shanshan's house. His old classmates were all looking at one another. Several of them were floored. Zhong'e has won the Peace Prize? When did the Nobel Foundation become so humorous? To award the Peace Prize to this fellow, can it get more ironic? I'm feeling faint. Someone get me some wine to calm my nerves. On Weibo. The Chinese netizens were writhing in excitement. Face-smacking Zhong? The Peace Prize? This is too face-smacking. Who would have thought that this bastard could actually bring home the Peace Prize? Is he thinking of scaring everyone around the world to death? It's the Nobel Peace Prize, all right. Face-smacking Zhong is going down in the annals of history. Yeah, not only is he going down in the annals of China's history, he is going to hecking go down in the annals of world history. Pfut. That Indian author is gonna be crying. Don't mention that Indian author, even I am hecking crying. There was still a minority who did not know about this matter. Some people had only just signed into Weibo. Ah? What are you guys talking about? What's going on here? What about the Peace Prize? Previous posters, don't you know yet? Then let me tell you all a joke. The joke is, Zhong Yi has won the Nobel Peace Prize. Pfut, don't joke. Do you guys think I'm an idiot? Ha ha ha, if face-smacking Zhong won the Peace Prize, then I'll go and run for the American presidency. Then tens of thousands of people replied to that Weibo comment. Go on then. Hurry and go. I'm cramping up from laughing. Bro, all the best. Pfft, you people better go and watch the news. In such a short period of time, tens of thousands of people had come to join in on the fun, dumbfounding those people. Only then did they realize that something was wrong and quickly went to check the news. If they didn't check, it would have been fine. But when they saw it, they either vomited blood or fainted. What? It's true. In this world, many things were simply unacceptable. For example, pigs flying. For example, an iron tree blooming. For example, a vegetarian tiger. For example, Zhong Yi winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Everyone in China was cheering at Zhong Yi's Nobel Prize win. But the only problem was that this Nobel Prize made them slightly embarrassed, and they didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Who was Zhong Yi? China, Japan, and Korea knew him better than anyone else. He was someone who would scold people regardless of the occasion. He was a hooligan who would unexpectedly lay a hand on others. He was an asshole who would make trouble out of nothing at all. Counting the number of times that Zhong Yi had done such things over the years, none of those incidents would hecking have any correlation to the word peace at all. Yet it was exactly this person who won the Peace Prize. Very soon, the news headlines were published as well. America, the UK, France, Japan, Russia. A similar headline appeared on the news all over the world. It was a very long headline that had never appeared in the history of the news before. The Nobel Prize in Literature nominee who tripped the Nobel Prize in Literature winner at the Nobel Prize Awards ceremony wins the Nobel Peace Prize. This joke made the entire world laugh. Chapter 16:15, The people from the embassy arrive. At the venue. The live broadcast ended. The award ceremony was also over. Everyone got up and left their seats. Naturally, the Nobel Prize recipients were the focus of everyone's attention. Many friends and colleagues congratulated them, as did reporters. In previous years, once the award ceremony ended, the media from all over the world would surround the Nobel laureates, hoping to get the first interview after the awards had been given out. However, the atmosphere today was a bit funny. When the live broadcast camera switched off, all the reporters were moved. Mr. Zhong Yi. Mr. Zhong. I'm with the BBC. I'm a reporter from ABC. I'm with the CBC. Please accept our interview. Can we have 2 minutes of your time, please? Countless people looked at Zhong Yi in a surprise. They just managed to blink their eyes before the international media surrounded Zhong Yi. The Economics Prize recipient? The Physics Prize recipient? The Mathematics Prize recipient? None of the reporters went over to them. Almost all the reporters were sprinting towards Zhong Yi with their microphones and cameras. A few foreign reporters couldn't squeeze in and even resorted to squatting down and pushing their microphones into the crowd. That scene, that situation, it was ridiculous. Little Wang felt very flattered. Hachichi said in a hurry, one at a time, please, one at a time. Zhong Yi maintained his smile and stood there patiently, waiting for them to ask their questions. This was his chance to get on the international media and television stations to boost his international fame. For a celebrity like Zhong Yi, this was too rare an opportunity, so of course he would not reject them. A female Spanish reporter asked, "Did you ever think you'd win the Nobel Peace Prize?" Perhaps because she had been too anxious, she spoke in Spanish. When she realized, she immediately thought of asking in English again. However, Zhong Yi answered her in Spanish. Honestly, it never crossed my mind before. This award was indeed unexpected. The female Spanish reporter was startled. You can speak Spanish?" Zhong Yi smiled. A little. The female Spanish reporter said, "May I ask if Gone with the Wind will get published in Spanish?" Zhong Yi smiled. "Definitely." A German reporter beside her quickly said, "Did you make up your acceptance speech on the spot?" "Yes." Zhong Yi said in German, "As I've said, I really hadn't expected to get this award, so I just said what I was thinking and shared my thoughts." The German reporter was taken aback. "You know German too?" The surrounding reporters were also stunned when they heard this. "You can actually speak so many languages? Aren't you too professional?" 1. 5. 10. Zhong Yi dealt with reporters from all over the world. At the end, a Chinese reporter finally squeezed in after much effort. He hurriedly said, "Teacher Zhong, I'm with Central TV." "I'm with Central TV." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "Go ahead." The Chinese reporter quickly asked, "First of all, let me congratulate you for bringing home the first Nobel Prize for China. But when the award was announced earlier, I noticed a lot of people all over the world doubting it. They're saying that you're part of the grassroots and don't deserve the Nobel Prize. They claim that there are a lot of other people more qualified than you to receive this award. In the past years, this award was only given out to country leaders who have identity and status. This is very different from what you represent, so what do you have to say?" Little Wang looked at Zhong Yi. Ha Chichi had a grave expression on her face. This was a rather difficult question to answer. But nobody expected Zhong Yi to smile and say, "I agree with this viewpoint." He had remembered a famous quote from Guodi Gang. The Chinese reporter was stunned. "Ah?" Zhong Yi chuckled. "I am part of the grassroots." The Chinese reporter said without thinking, is that so?" Zhong Yi put up his fingers and raised a few examples. "What exactly are grassroots?" "They are made of up things like ginseng, lingji 1, and cordyceps." "Ginseng? Lingji?" Every example that he mentioned floored all the people around him. "You call those hecking grassroots? Those things are more valuable than gold." Zhong Yi sighed. "It's stuff like these that can't even be shown off. I can't compare to those people who are like red tunes 2, leeks, or cabbages you'd find in a greenhouse." As he spoke, he gave a thumbs up. "They're also green 3. The Chinese reporter did a spit take. Little Wang and Ha Chichi were speechless. The two of them didn't know whether to laugh or cry. When he was dealing with the foreign reporters, Zhong Yi spoke properly to them, perhaps due to restrictions in language. But when he answered the Chinese reporter, everything that Zhong Yi spouted was nonsense. In his mother tongue, Zhong Yi had gained absolute mastery in the language. He could scold people without using any vulgarities. The interview ended. The international reporters all had a great harvest. At this moment, Zhong Yi's friends came over. Anna said excitedly, "Zhong, congratulations." Zhong Yi opened his arms and embraced her. "Thank you, Professor Anna." Anthony laughed heartily. "You're gonna get famous." Professor Hans also laughed and said, "Zhong, aren't you going to treat us?" "Sure thing." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "I'll treat everyone to lunch afterwards. All of you must show up." Suddenly, Ha Chichi's expression changed. "Director Zhong." Zhong Yi looked at her. He saw Ha Chichi nudge her chin at the outside. Several English police officers arrived. Beside them, a furious Bangalore was pointing in Zhong Yi's direction. He was rambling to them after reporting him to the police at some point earlier. It fell silent. Quite a few people were looking in this direction. The chief police officer said, "Are you Zhong Yi?" Zhong Yi did not say anything. But Bangalore shouted, "It's him." Anthony took 2 steps forward. "What are you all trying to do?" The English police officer said, "We're looking for Zhong Yi to understand the situation. Please step aside." Zhong Yi tugged at Anthony and said, "Don't worry, let me handle this." All of a sudden, another large group of people walked in from outside. From their appearances, the group of roughly 8 people turned out to be Chinese. All of them were dressed in suits and looked very formal, startling many people who were at the scene. The lead Chinese guy said, "Wait." The English police officer turned around. "Huh?" The lead Chinese guy pulled out his identification. "We're from the Chinese embassy. Professor Zhong Yi is on a special visa, so we cannot allow you all to take him away. If there's something, you can speak with us." "The embassy? They've sent someone from the embassy?" Bangalore's expression darkened. Anthony heaved a sigh of relief. Felicia also felt a sense of relief. They knew that with the embassy coming forward, this matter would definitely be resolved very quickly. Zhong Yi and Ha Chichi had not expected that the Chinese embassy in England would get alarmed either. For China to come out and help handle his issues? Who else could possibly get such treatment? The Chinese embassy officials were very tough. The English police officers could only seek advice from their superiors since this was out of their hands. 10 minutes later, both sides were done communicating over the problem. The embassy official told Zhong Yi, "Professor Zhong, you're free to leave now." Zhong Yi asked, "It's settled just like that?" The embassy official said, "You can go back to rest at your hotel first. We'll pick it up from here to settle the issue with them. Once everything is fine, you'll be free to return home. We will arrange for your plane tickets as well. This is something that Ambassador Lin has specially instructed us to oversee. Just rest up and don't worry yourself over anything else." Zhong Yi said gratefully, "I'm sorry to have caused you all such an inconvenience." The embassy official gave a bitter smile. "As long as you know that. Please don't be so rash again in the future." In fact, before Zhong Yi came to England, the Chinese military had already informed the Chinese embassy here through official channels that they must ensure Zhong Yi's safety in England. If anything happened, they had to make sure to send him back to China at all costs. The embassy staff obviously knew what Zhong Yi meant to China. He was one of the top 3 key protected scientists in China. Further, he was now the person who won the Nobel Peace Prize for China. Anything could happen to anyone, except Zhong Yi. Therefore, they had to come. They had to send Zhong Yi off. This greatly astonished everyone at the venue. Chapter 16:16, Zhong Yi's debut on the International Celebrity Rankings Index. A day later. Beijing, the capital's airport. Zhong Yi was all smiles. "We're finally home." Ha Chichi smiled. "I still like China better. I was terrified each day we spent abroad." Little Wang giggled and said, "Director Zhong, if you have to go overseas again in the future, please don't bring me along. We should leave such good opportunities to our colleagues at the studio. It's fortunate that the embassy officials showed up and fished us out of trouble. Otherwise, we really might not have come back." Zhong Yi glanced at the 2 suitcases in her hands. "But it looks to me that you enjoyed the shopping." Little Wang blushed. "Not true." Ha Chichi was also a bit embarrassed. "I bought quite a few things too." "Come on." Zhong Yi said, "It's time to go home." It had only been 3 days since he left, but Zhong Yi was already very anxious to return home. However, when the 3 of them exited the arrival gates, they were shocked. Both ends of the passage were densely packed with people who were here to welcome them home. 1,000 people. 5,000 people. Over 10,000 people. Some of them were screaming. Some of them were holding up banners. "Welcome home, our hero. Congratulations, Teacher Zhong, on winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Face-smacking Zhong's glory, shocking the world. Zhong Yi, I love you. Honor for China, glory for us Chinese. Annihilate the Indian, a surprise win, congratulations to Teacher Zhong on a safe return." All of those banners dazzled the eye. Zhong Yi has come out. He's here. How handsome. Teacher Zhong. Look over here. Look over here. You're the best. We've finally gotten a Nobel Prize. Zhong Yi, I want a picture with you. Zhong Yi, I want your babies. Arth. I'm so excited. You're the pride of the Chinese people. Well done. You haven't embarrassed the Chinese people. It was very crowded, and everyone was screaming non-stop. Many reporters were also trying to squeeze their way in with their cameras. This crazy scene of over 10,000 people was spectacular. The situation kept going out of control. Little Wang exclaimed, "Why are there so many people?" Zhong Yi was very touched. He quickly hollered, "Thank you. Thank you." It was only a short 10-minute walk to the parking lot, but Zhong Yi and company took over an hour to get there. The crowd, reporters, and airport security staff had them surrounded the entire way there. In China, it was a common occurrence for people to come and greet their celebrity idols at the airport. However, such a large welcome party was complete unprecedented. This was no longer something that could be described as greeting a celebrity at the airport. It was more like welcoming a hero back home. 10,000 people. 15,000 people. The further they walked, the more people gathered around them. However, the trio of Zhong Yi and company were not angered by this, nor did not they get impatient. They just walked and stopped, giving thanks to the people who came to receive them. In the parking lot, the three of them finally got into their transportation. The studio staff were all in the minibus. Tong Fu exclaimed in surprise, "Director Zhong." Wu Yi excitedly went up to give him a hug. That was so impressive. Impressive. Zhong Yi smiled and said, "It was just a happy coincidence, I didn't expect to win the Nobel Prize either." "It's such a surprise." Zhong's Wabeli laughed and said, "You might not know how it was here in China since you were in England, but the internet, streets, and the media were all blowing up over this." Zhong Yi said, "Is that so?" Ha Chichi laughed and said, "Let's get going first." The driver shouted, "Sit tight, everyone. We're leaving." On the way, everyone was pulling and tugging at Ha Chichi and Little Wang, asking nonstop about what happened. Little Wang said without reservation, "You guys didn't see Director Zhong extend his foot and make the Indian author bleed from his head. Did you watch the live broadcast? Those of you who weren't there definitely can't get a sense of the atmosphere. For real, in that instant it happened, the entire hall fell silent, and I saw those foreign reporters staring with wide eyes. But of course, Sister Ha and I also broke down mentally on the spot. We thought it was all over for us, that Director Zhong had caused yet another disaster. But in the end, who could have guessed that Director Zhong would go on to win the Nobel Peace Prize?" Tong Fu got very excited from listening. "Tell us the details." Zhong's were also said, "Yeah, give us the details." Ha Chichi smiled and said, "What details can there be?" Everyone who was there was startled by what happened. They were all chatting. Smiling, Zhong Yi lowered his head to check his cell phone. He had only just turned it on to check the Chinese news and netizen comments. But before he could read much, his phone started ringing like crazy. It was "Fellow Kai, why am I just getting through? I just got off the plane and turned on my phone. Ha, on behalf of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, I offer you our congratulations." "Thank you, Fellow Kai, bring the medal over some time and let me have a look. There are a lot of people at the Academy waiting to take a picture with you." "Sure thing, no problem." Grandma Zhongxia also called. "Zhongla. Hey, Grandma Zhong. Congratulations to you." "Thank you, and the same to you. You've surprised the world this time." Ninglan also called shortly after. "You're back in the country? I just got off the plane. You're really good at surprising people." Ha, I guess. You will definitely break into the international celebrity rankings. Who knows, the international rankings index has not been updated yet. Dong Shanshan also called. "Treat us." "Pfot, all right. Our old classmates are all demanding that you treat us to a big meal this time. All right, pick any place you guys like. How have you been lately? Has your movie started screening yet?" "What screening? It's been delayed. The news is all over you right now. Your name has been occupying all of the news, headlines, and television shows for the past 2 days. At this time, who would dare to vie with you for attention? Director Lee's new movie knows to take a step back for now. Are you sure it's that exaggerated? Just take a look for yourself." The minibus was still on the road. Zhong Yi fielded calls one after another. All of a sudden, Ha Chichi's cell phone rang. After taking the call, she took a deep breath and hung up. Then she looked at Zhong Yi and the others. "I've just received news." Zhong's were asked, "What's the matter?" Ha Chichi said nervously, "The international celebrity rankings will be updated soon." Zhong Yi, who was still on his phone, also looked over. "When?" Ha Chichi said, "In 10 minutes. Little Wang asked, shouldn't it be at midnight? Ha Chichi said, it's not like they follow our Beijing time. Ah, that's true. Little Wang facepalmed. Will we be able to get on the rankings? Will we? Zhongzhou was also getting anxious. This was something that would decide their future developments. Although director Zhong hasn't appeared on the international celebrity rankings yet, and is definitely below the international C-list rankings, he must not be too far away from it. Furthermore, there is the attention gained from the global sales of Gone with the Wind and his Nobel Prize win. And then, there's also that trip that most definitely shocked the entire world so much that the other laureates from yesterday's Nobel Prize award ceremony combined can't take the spotlight away from director Zhong. With this kind of exposure, if he still doesn't make it into the international rankings, it would be quite strange. Ha Chichi said excitedly, and there's also one more thing. The additional percentage to the popularity score from winning the Nobel Peace Prize. That's right, that's right, that's right, Tong Fu repeated. This is the most important factor of all. Little Wang said, what's the percentage? Ha Chichi said, I've checked it. It will be 1.3 times his international popularity score. Even at director Zhong's previous popularity score, which had him somewhere in the D-list international rankings, he should be able to get onto the international C-list rankings after this. Little Wang clasped her hands. Please let him get in. He must break into the C-list rankings. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. It was all quiet in the minibus. Everyone was both nervous and looking forward to the International Celebrity Rankings Index getting refreshed. Writing a novel. Vying for the Nobel Prize. Everything they did before this was all for this day. Time slowly ticked by. All of a sudden, the people in the minibus shouted. It's been refreshed. The International Celebrity Rankings Index has been refreshed. What spot are we? Did director Zhong manage to get onto it? Ha 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 ha. Take a look for yourselves. Everyone gathered. On this day, Zhong Yi's name appeared on the latest international celebrity rankings. The International Celebrity Rankings Index. International C-list rankings. Chapter 16-17, China's troll army stuns the world. On Weibo. We're in. We're in. In what? Go and check out the international celebrity rankings. What? Zhong Yi has made it in? Not only that, he's ranked 67th on the C-list rankings too. That high? He's already closing in on the middle of the international C-list rankings. Holy shit. Face-smacking Zhong is soaring to the heavens. We have to call him International Zhong from now on. The Chinese media. He really pulled it off. Winning the Nobel Prize, getting onto the international celebrity rankings, Zhong Yi has undoubtedly become the #1 celebrity of China. Yeah, no one in China has achieved anything like this before. There's finally a trace of a Chinese person on the international celebrity rankings. And it's not a last place spot either. To be placed 67th in his debut appearance on the international C-list rankings, not even Lillian managed something that. Lillian still had to slowly climb her way up from the bottom. At a get-together in the entertainment circle. He really made it into the international celebrity rankings. God, he's already closing in on the middle of the C-list. Look at that person who's behind him in the rankings. That's the famous American host, Dave. Dave has been nudged down by him. He's now in 68th place of the international C-list rankings. Today, Zhong Yi has achieved what Zhong Yuanqi and Xu Mailan were unable to achieve. Face-smacking Zhong has really broken into the international scene. Zhong Yi's fan club. My large saber is again unable to endure the thirst. Brothers and sisters, it's time to register on international social media. Once you've registered, add me. My handle is Big Knife. Pfft, Big Saber bro, what are you trying to do? Big Knife? I can't even start to roast a name like that. Big Saber bro's English is simple and violent. Are we gonna go international now? Yeah, Teacher Zhong has advanced into the international entertainment circle, so we cannot just remain within our country's borders. We definitely have to accompany Teacher Zhong to conquer the world. Got it. Haha, I've already registered my account. I'm here. My account registration is complete as well. Let the world experience the storm that our Chinese troll army brings. It's time for the world to know about the power of the Chinese troll army. Ha ha ha, that's right. We have nothing but people. Looks like I'll have to practice my English hard. Who has the book 1000 Swears in English? Lend it to me so I can practice. Japan. What's happening? There's an update on the Asian Celebrity Rankings Index. Why is Zhong Yi's name on it? Zhong Yi has reopened his Asian Celebrity Ranking? Who reopened it for him? What place is he in? Third. He's in third place on the Asian S-list rankings. Korea. Zhong Yi's Asian Celebrity Ranking has been reopened. He won the Nobel Peace Prize, so he's practically unstoppable now. Quickly go and look at the International Celebrity Rankings. He's an international C-lister now? 67th place? America. The Nobel Peace Prize laureate has ascended into the International Celebrity Rankings? Is it that Chinese man? It's him, the rankings were refreshed. His popularity is that high already? Dave has dropped in the rankings? It's the first time I'm seeing a Chinese celebrity in these rankings. India. Your grandpa. Based on what? What does that Chinese man have? How can a person like this get on the international celebrity rankings? I can't accept this. Me neither. Come, let's go on social media to insult him. Let's do it together. On an international social media site. That Chinese guy has gotten onto the celebrity rankings? I don't like that Chinese guy. He's such a hooligan. Yeah, he's probably not gonna last long on the international celebrity rankings. That's right, the competition in the international celebrity rankings is not something that the Chinese entertainment industry can match. There are changes in the rankings practically every day, and people fall off the top to be replaced by new ones. There have been many precedents, and even if they are the top international celebrities, a rumor or a scandal is enough to bring them down from the top overnight. The competition is too intense. It's like a meat grinder for celebrities from all over the world. It won't be that easy for that Chinese guy to gain a foothold. I'm not optimistic of his chances either. Haha, let's see how long he can last on the celebrity rankings then. I bet 2 months. I bet 1 month. The American netizens, the UK netizens. The Australian netizens. The German netizens. The Japanese netizens. Netizens from all over the world were currently discussing the Chinese celebrity's ascendancy into the international celebrity rankings. If this were the Zhong Yi of the past, the world's netizens would definitely not have paid any attention to him. Even during the time when Zhong Yi was the most wanted hacker in the world, he still wouldn't have attracted as much discussion as he was now. After all, his Nobel Prize win of the Nobel Peace Prize and his entry into the international entertainment circle was quite a big deal for the world. Naturally, a lot of people would be discussing it. From this point alone, it could be seen that Zhong Yi's rise into the international celebrity rankings was based on his international popularity score. Soon after, the Indian netizens also appeared. Zhong Yi is just a hooligan. Punish this murderer severely. He's not worthy of being on the international celebrity rankings. If he can be on it, so can Bangalore. I suggest that we add Bangalore's name to the international celebrity rankings as well. Right, remove Zhong Yi. Vitriol. Personal attacks. Discrediting. Denouncements. They were crazily attacking Zhong Yi. In an instant, the international social media site was bustling with activity. Finding it amusing, netizens from all over the world came to have a look. It was right at this time that a wave of anonymous new accounts appeared. The moment they showed up, the Indian netizens were surrounded. Idiots. Heck you. What about Bangalore? His dog's hit. If you won an award, keep quiet and don't come here to brag. Haha, what a joke. You should find out about who Teacher Zhong is first. Don't think you can have things your way. Be thankful that teacher Zhong only used his leg this time. If he had used his hands, Bangalore would have been crushed. My big knife is again unable to endure the thirst. Asterisk. It was all vulgarities. A lot of the comments had been censored. 10,000 people. 50,000 people. 100,000 people. The Indians were stunned. The Americans were stunned. The French were stunned. The Canadians were stunned. The world's netizens were stunned. It was the Chinese. Over 100,000 of them. The Indian netizens who were scolding Zhong Yi earlier had only numbered around 300 to 500. At most, there were no more than 600 of them. However, when the troll army from China showed up on a large scale, the Indian netizens did not even have a chance to speak and were drowned out. The Indian netizens saw red. What the heck? Why are there so many people? Get them. Let's attack together. No, we can't outscold them. There are too many of them. That's right. They were drowned out. The overwhelming formation that showed up dumbfounded the world's netizens. They arrived together. They were well trained. There was a tacit understanding. It was just like an army. Each person only had to scold once, and 100 others would copy-paste the reply below it. It was a sight to behold. Just one attempt was enough to defeat the Indian netizens. It was as if this were a fight between an adult and a child. There was absolutely no chance of hitting back. On the international social media site, the netizens from the different countries were all stunned. How terrifying! Damn, what just happened? The Indian netizens were defeated? This is too scary. So this is the Chinese troll army? The Chinese are too scary. They came in a hurry. And left in a hurry. All they left behind were the stunned looks of the world's people. This was the first time that the Chinese troll army had gone international, but it was enough to leave an indelible impression on the world's netizens. A lot of people couldn't help but think of the same thing: the Chinese netizens play too dirty. In China. On Weibo. Heck! Zhong Yi's fan club has gone onto the international social media site to fight. Ha 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 ha, I saw it. How awesome! They were so ferocious. I thought it was really funny. Zhong Yi's fans are too fearsome. The Indian netizens must be crying now after they got scolded to no end. The Indian netizens are really weak in an online argument. We just showed up and they crumbled. There's no rush from the scolding battle at all. Can they not be so weak? Pfft, do you think they're Chinese? Our Chinese people's swearing has already reached the pinnacle. Besides, is this the first time you've heard about the infamy of our Chinese troll army? In particular, Zhong Yi's troll army has got the strongest combat power of all. They're considered unmatched in the entire legion of China's troll armies, so how could the foreigners possibly fight against them? China's troll army has become famous. Yeah, they must have hecking stunned the entire world. Ha 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 ha, the foreign netizens have all been shocked. When have they ever come across guerrillas as united and orderly as this? Along the way, the minibus was stuck in traffic. The studio staff also received news of the matter. Little Wang was floored. Zhong's gave a wry smile. Zhong Yi facepalmed. Ha Chichi said helplessly, I wonder if it's a good thing or a bad thing for the Chinese troll army to go international. Why do I feel like our reputation is absolutely going down the drain? Zhong Yi threw up his hands and said, just let it go down the drain. It's never been good before anyway. Ha Chichi said nervously, you seem really accepting of that. Everyone laughed. Chapter 16:18, A Letter and a Reply. Back at home. After getting stuck in traffic for most of the journey, the minibus finally arrived at its destination. Zhong Yi was so eager that when the vehicle came to a stop, he immediately jumped out after taking his luggage. He said with a smile, I'm finally home. Then the villa's door flew open. Pop! 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 Confetti and streamers cascaded. A group of people rushed out cheering. Zhong Yi was startled. Whoa, what's with this? his daughter, his cousins, old Wu's relatives, his relatives. Even Chen Chen and Yang Shu were among them. His three sisters screamed, "Brother, you're so awesome." His eldest younger sister popped a party popper. "We warmly welcome our brother back home." Wu Mo belly laughed. "Have you checked the international celebrity rankings yet? You're on it. You've gotten onto the rankings." Little Yi, his mother-in-law, said excitedly, "You've really done our family proud this time." His mother strode up to him. "Where's the medal?" Zhong Yi said, "It's with old Ha." His second sister exclaimed, "I want to see the medal too. I want to see it too." "Let little Yi into the house first," his father said loudly. "Daddy!" His daughter ran over to him. Zhong Yi smiled so broadly his eyes disappeared. He lowered himself and picked his daughter up. "Did you miss Daddy?" Cece nodded. "Yes." "Daddy, where's my present?" Zhong Yi chuckled and said, "It's in the suitcase. I'll get it for you in a bit." His first and second uncle also asked to see the Nobel Peace Prize medal and insisted on taking a picture with it. Ha Chichi carefully handed it to them. "Slowly, handle it carefully." At this moment, Wu Ziqing walked out with a smile. She said to the studio staff, "Come on in. I've already made some food. Eat before you all go." Zhong's were hurriedly waved his hands. "No, no." Little Wang also said quickly, "Sister-in-law, don't stand on ceremony with us." Wu Ziqing smiled and said, "Little Yi has won an award, and every one of you has been working hard behind the scenes to make it happen. Come in and have something to eat." Zhong Yi also spoke. "Yeah, come in and let's eat together." The studio staff finally relented and went inside the villa. The celebratory feast was already prepared. There were 3 tables in all, and it was clear that the entire family had been waiting for him to come back. However, when Zhong Yi arrived, it felt as though he was no longer the star of the show. That honor belonged to the Nobel Prize medal. His family did not care about eating and began taking turns taking pictures with it. His mother refused to let go of the medal and made them take over 20 pictures of her with it. After taking pictures with the medal, they all started posting it onto their Weibo or Moments. It was a very boisterous scene. "This is the Nobel Prize medal. It's so beautiful. Haha, 70 people have already liked my post. Uncle, are you done taking pictures yet? Take another one for me. Wait a while, I'll be done soon. Ayo, let's start eating first." "Ah, right, let's eat." The celebratory feast began. His family members were all very happy to the point of being thrilled. Although Zhong Yi had won a lot of honors in the past, it was very different this time. This was China's first ever Nobel Prize, and it was even the most prestigious Nobel Peace Prize. Ring, ring, ring. Old Wu's cell phone rang. A moment later, Wu Ziqing handed the phone to him. "It's for you." Zhong Yi was taking a sip at this second. "Who is it?" "I'll take it later, we're eating." Wu Ziqing smiled and said, "It's the Minister of the Central Publicity Department." It fell silent in the house. Zhong Yi was also taken aback. He took the phone and said, "Hello?" On the other end of the line, he heard a middle-aged man laughing. "Teacher Zhong, congratulations." Zhong Yi laughed and said, "Leader, I respond to anyone calling me teacher but you." The middle-aged man also laughed. "Come now. You're the first ever Chinese Nobel Prize laureate. Of course you're deserving of the title teacher in front of anybody. Let me congratulate you on behalf of the Central Publicity Department and thank you as well." Zhong Yi said, "You're being too generous with your words. It's me that should be thanking the country for cultivating and supporting me." Following, another few calls came. Some of them called Zhong Yi's cell phone, while others called Wu Ziqing's cell phone to look for him. From the military. From the Chinese Academy of Sciences. From the Chinese Academy of Engineering. From Central TV. The calls were all made personally by the key leaders of the various official departments. They were all calling to offer an official congratulation rather than a personal one. Finally, there was even an email. Ha Chichi suddenly shouted, "Director Zhong, there's an email." Zhong Yi asked, "Who is it from? Read it to me." Ha Chichi quickly came over, looking awe-inspired. "I'm afraid you better look at this yourself." Zhong Yi was taken back. He opened the email. The contents looked just like a regular congratulatory message. But when they reached the end of the message, everyone gasped. The email was from the General Office of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China 1. Zhong Yi wiped his sweat and looked towards old Wu. "Do I need to reply to this?" The studio staff all vomited blood. They shouted, "Of course you have to. You most definitely need to do that." His mother was fuming and kicked her son. "This is no ordinary congratulatory message. You don't even intend to reply to Central? Do you want to die?" Zhong Yi said nervously, "I was asking precisely because I didn't know." Wu Ziqing smiled. "Yes, it's better to reply." Zhong Yi asked, "What should I write then?" Wu Ziqing said, "You can reply however you want." His father-in-law repeatedly reminded, "Don't you dare reply however you want, hear that?" Zhong Yi rolled his eyes and said, "Dad, with my literary flair, how bad do you think it could get?" Wu Changhe curled his lips. "This is not about having a literary flair or not. When you reply to Central, there are rules to abide by, and you have to be formal about it. With that Beijing slang of yours, it would surely give Central a shock." Everyone laughed. Zhong Yi just had to prove him wrong. "Formal? I got it." He turned around and asked old Wu, "Where did we keep the 4 treasures? I'll write a reply to them right away." Wu Ziqing smiled. "Calligraphy?" Zhong Yi grunted an affirmative. In turn, Wu Ziqing said to her nephew, "Little Mo, go to the study on the 2nd floor and bring the items for your uncle." "All right." Wu Mo immediately went to get them. Very quickly, the 4 treasures were brought down. Everyone was very curious about what Zhong Yi would write, so they all made some space for him. Cici was blinking her big eyes and asking, "Sister Chen Chen, what is Daddy doing?" Chen Chen pulled her by her little hand and walked outside. "Stay away, your daddy is trying to act cool again." Grinding the inkstone. Picking up the brush. A beautiful semicursive was written onto the paper. Everyone was amazed by it. No one had expected that Zhong Yi would actually reply with a poem. Him too, a vast expanse of rolling peaks and rivers and grasslands, countless dense villages, roosters crowing and dogs barking, connected to an originally wild Asian land, an arid wind whistles across a wilderness of weeds, low, dark clouds gather overhead the eastbound, gurgling stream, an untold number of years buried in somber forests. They quietly embrace me, the never-ending stories tell of never-ending disasters, silence is love, or an airy of eagles flying high, or dried-up eyes expecting a gush of hot tears to stream when the steadfast grey ranks are crawling across the distant horizon. I have too many words, my feelings too long-standing. I want to use the desolate deserts, rugged paths, and mule carts. I want to use canoes, wildflowers on hills, and rainy weather. I want to use e-riding to hug you, you. The population I see e-ri where, oh, people living and working in disgrace, people stooping. I want to embrace each one of you with my bloody hands. Because you have risen up, one peoples. This is like the centuries-old, enduring wind, this is like the endless groans and chilliness coming from the dilapidated eaves. It sings atop a withered canopy of trees, it has blown past barren swampland, reeds, and chirping insects. This is like the sound of ravens flying overhead. When I passed by, lingering on the road, I was lingering for the history of disgrace among vast rivers and mountains, still waiting, as we had suffered too silently for too long, but now we have risen up, one peoples, but now we have risen up, a nation. He signed off on it. And put away the brush. His feelings. His anger. His pride. It was all contained within. Zhong Yi said, "Send the reply." Ha Chichi took a picture of the calligraphy piece in a daze and sent the reply. Wu Mo suddenly looked at Zhong Yi. A lot of people in the house also looked at Zhong Yi. Zhong Yi asked old Wu, "Will this reply do?" Wu Ziqing smiled. She held her husband's hand. "There's no reply better than this." On the same night. People's Daily published Zhong Yi's reply. Xinhua News, Youth Daily, and many other mainstream media outlets also published Zhong Yi's reply prominently on the front page of their newspapers. It was headlined, "We Have Risen Up, a Nation." Chapter 1619, Central TV International's Invitation. 3 days later. The table on the first-floor living room was piling up with newspapers that reported about Zhong Yi over the past few days. Old Wu had placed them together after Zhong Yi's parents kept bringing over stacks of newspapers on a daily basis. This did not include the news reports on the various television stations and foreign media outlets, as well as those from the online media. Counting everything, they likely couldn't finish reading all of the news even if they spent 2 days and 2 nights reading them word by word. In the morning, after Old Wu went to work, Zhong Yi got up early and stayed at home to take care of their daughter. "Daddy, are you going out today too?" "Nope. I finished all the business and entertainment for the past few days." "Daddy, I want to watch a cartoon." "Not today." "But why?" "It's Army Day 1 today. We're going to watch the parade." "Daddy, what is Army Day?" "It's a very, very important holiday." "Oh, then Cece doesn't want to watch cartoons anymore." "Good girl." The military parade began. Zhong Yi was cuddling his daughter on the sofa as they watched television together. He wanted to expose her to some patriotic education. Zhong Yi was very happy today, as well as very honored. Bringing home a Nobel Prize was considered a great gift for his country. Half an hour. An hour. The doorbell rang. It was the studio staff. When Hachichi saw what was on TV, she smiled and said, "You're watching it too?" "Of course." Zhong Yi said, "Take a seat and make yourselves comfortable. Pour yourselves a drink if you want." Zhongzhou chuckled and said, "You're even making your daughter watch?" Zhong Yi nodded. "I need her to learn to love her country at a young age." Little Wang said nervously, "Would a child understand?" Zhong Yi said, "She'll have to watch it even if she doesn't understand. My only fear is that she'll start worshipping foreigners when she grows up." Tong Fu cramped up with laughter. "Director Zhong, you're overthinking it. I can't say if other people's children will worship foreigners, but I'm definitely sure that your daughter won't. On this point, the entire country's citizens will guarantee it, so rest assured that Cece will definitely follow in both your and Minister Wu's footsteps." What sort of a person was Zhong Yi? He was a well-known nationalist. The spiritual leader of the nationalistic youths of China. Would his child worship foreigners? The entire country's citizens wouldn't have any of that. Cece pointed at the television and said, "Daddy, they're really good at walking." Zhong Yi smiled and said, "That's called Parade March 2nd. These are our country soldiers are." Cece said excitedly, "Is Daddy also as amazing as them?" "Daddy doesn't know how to do the parade march," Zhong Yi said with a laugh. However, Hachichi said to Cece, "Cece, although your father is not a soldier and doesn't know how to parade march, our soldiers walking with such confidence today and with their heads held high is all thanks to your father. Look, this aircraft formation is made up of the latest fighter jets that your father designed. Then, there's also China's first ever Nobel Prize that your father won for us too. That's also why our country's soldiers are becoming stronger, and why our country's soldiers are becoming more confident. Only when they can hold their heads up high will they be able to march in such an upright manner in front of the whole world. You are still young and might not understand, but you will know what your father's name means to China when you grow up." Cece said happily, "I understand, Daddy is the greatest." Zhong Yi patted his daughter on her head. "Let's watch the military parade." Cece said, "MHM." Zhongzhou asked, "Director Zhong, what type of missile is this?" Zhong Yi smiled. "It's AC-5 ICBM." Hachichi blinked and said, "Is it good?" Zhong Yi said, "It's the latest model of ICBMs and can hit the mainland of America, so do you think it's good?" Little Wang said excitedly, "How about this one? And this one?" All of them knew that Zhong Yi had been working with the military after starting his prison sentence, and had participated in many research projects and weapons research. Since he knew the subject inside and out, they asked him everything they wanted to know. Zhong Yi fielded their questions and detailed the military equipment that he was very familiar with. Soon after, the military parade ended. Zhong Yi put Cece upstairs to play by herself while he and the studio staff discussed some matters. They had to sort out the details of their future direction. To Zhong Yi and his studio, they had reached a new height that no other Chinese celebrity had reached before. From here on out, there weren't any prior references for them to follow, and they would have to figure out how to continue on this path they were taking. Everyone sat down for a meeting. Hachichi said, "Why don't you set a direction?" Zhongs were asked, "How are we going to carry on?" Actually, Zhong Yi smiled. "I don't know either." Little Wang exclaimed, "Then what should we do?" Zhong Yi spread his hands. "I'm quite surprised we reached this height, so how could I have any plans? We can only take it one step at a time." Hachichi said, "In the past few days since we returned, we've been researching the International Celebrity Rankings Index. It's really too competitive and dissimilar to our domestic celebrity rankings that hardly see any change each month. The rankings change basically every day, with people getting onto the rankings and others falling off of it. This is why we're all quite jittery about it. Although the Nobel Prize win helped us make a shock entry into the rankings, our foundation is still pretty shallow. The popularity can come fast, but it can disappear quickly as well. These days, there are already hardly any additional reports and coverage in the foreign media. The attention we got from winning the Nobel Prize has almost faded, so how are we going to continue making inroads on the international scene?" Zhong Yi asked, "Do we have any jobs invitations?" Hachichi gave a wry smile. "There are quite a few offers domestically, but nothing from the international scene as of yet." Zhongs was said, "Our domestic popularity has become saturated. Almost every person in the country has become your fan, so there isn't really a point in taking on variety shows or TV series anymore. We won't be making any progress that way, so our goal is definitely to fight our way overseas. That's where our citizens and domestic industry want to see you heading as well. They want to know how far you can go and how much you can spread the name of China internationally." Zhong Yi said, "But no one is extending invitations to me." Hachichi suddenly asked, "Are you very knowledgeable on military affairs and weapon systems?" Zhong Yi laughed, "What do you think?" "Then we still have a pretty good offer in China," Hachichi said. Zhong Yi asked with interest, "What is it?" Hachichi smiled and said, "Central TV has contacted us regarding an interview touching on military affairs since we're in the midst of celebrating Army Day." Little Wang said, "Isn't that still a domestic broadcast?" "It's not." Hachichi said, "It will be broadcast on Central TV International 3. Zhong Yi said, "CTV International?" Hachichi nodded. "That's right. Almost every country in the world can watch it, and it's also the only international channel that China has. Although not everyone in those countries might catch it, they can still receive the broadcast signal. As for how the interview will turn out and how many people will watch it, that will all depend on you. I think with the popularity you've earned from winning the Nobel Peace Prize and your international celebrity ranking, you should still be quite popular internationally. It's likely that many foreigners will still be interested in you, so this should be a pretty good opportunity." Tong Fu scratched his head. "I know about Central TV International. Some programs are dubbed in English while others have English subtitles, but the viewership ratings aren't that high, right? There are not too many people who watch it in China, right?" Zhongs was said, "But at least it's an international channel. Its viewership range is incomparable and covers the entire world, so it won't hurt to try. In the past, CTV International didn't do well because the programs were all similar, and we didn't have any international celebrities to speak of. But now that director Zhong has stepped onto the international scene, his appeal and influence are certainly not the same as before. Perhaps that might have a positive effect." They discussed it for a long time. Finally, Zhong Yi made the decision. "All right, we'll give it a try." Hachichi smiled. "Okay, I'll go and contact Central TV and have them to set a time." Very quickly, Zhong Yi's first job invitation after breaking into the international entertainment industry was confirmed. Chapter 1620, Is this something that a Nobel Peace Prize recipient should say? The next day. In the morning. The news had already spread around China. Teacher Zhong is going to be interviewed? Yeah, it will be on Central TV International. This will be his first appearance since breaking into the international scene. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard that it will be a military show. The People's Liberation Army has astonished the world with their military parade this year. That's right. A lot of foreign media outlets have given the parade full coverage, and even the Western media outlets are reporting about it as well. This is the first time that so much of our military equipment and weapons have been showcased to the public. Moreover, they are all our latest, self-developed equipment, and many of the weapons technology are at a world-first standard. I'm interested in hearing what Zhong Yi has to say. Would he know anything? Pfut, you seem to have forgotten who it was that designed the new generation fighter jet? Oh, right, I forgot Zhong Yi is an expert in military science. I would like to know about Zhong Yi's opinions regarding military affairs. Yeah, in the field of weapons research, Zhong Yi is still an authoritative figure. The public was looking forward to it. The media paid close attention. The military attached great importance to this. In recent times, everyone's attention had been focused on the military. They were all very interested in matters related to this aspect. When they heard that Zhong Yi was going to be interviewed on a military show on CTV International, it immediately raised a lot of discussions. A combination of Zhong Yi and military affairs needed no publicity at all. There was a natural attractiveness to something like that. Meanwhile, at Central TV, at the recording studio of CTV International, recording had not started yet, but the guests and host were already here. Coincidentally, Zhong Yi happened to know them. Zhong Yi greeted, "Fellow Kai, I'll be partnering with you today." It was Kai Shui, one of the few female research fellows of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Kai Shui smiled and shook his hand. "So it's fellow Zhong, long time no see." Zhong Yi laughed and said, "What's with the long time no see? We just met at the State Science and Technology Awards." Yu Yingyi said with a smile, "You two are familiar with each other? That's great, it'll be easier to handle the program." Then she said to Kai Shui, "Hello, fellow Kai, my name is Yu Yingyi, and I will be the host for today's interview. You can just call me Little Yu. It's nice to meet you." Kai Shui shook hands with her. "Hello." Zhong Yi said in amusement, "You've grown taller?" Yu Yingyi rolled her eyes. "It's just the high heels." Zhong Yi said, "Since when did you get transferred from the sports channel to CTV International?" "I just came over this year," Yu Yingyi said with a smile. Kai Shui said in surprise, "So you two know each other too?" Zhong Yi laughed and said, "More than that. We were even university classmates." The three of them started chatting. The producer also came over to communicate. All of a sudden, Zhong Yi's cell phone rang. When he saw the caller ID, he walked away to answer it. It was someone from the military. "Hello? Fellow Zhong, it's me, Old Li." "General Li, hello. Are you recording the interview?" "Not yet." "You know about it too?" "Of course I know. That's why I'm calling to give you a heads up. You know too many military secrets, so you have to know your limits and not reveal too much. As for the projects and related military secrets that have not been announced yet, be sure to zip your lips. Don't forget you have a confidentiality agreement with us. Anything else that can be said and has already been announced to the public, go ahead and talk about them. There won't be any restrictions on that. Just be sure to control what you say." "I understand. Also, this is an international channel, so you better perform well. It's likely that military organizations from all over the world will be keeping tabs on us. They are interested to see what our weapons construction and strategic thinking are like. Haha, all the countries have now set up specialized research groups to deal with China. If you find a suitable opportunity, feel free to throw them off with some misleading claims." "Sure, I know what to do." After hanging up, Zhong Yi smiled. Kai Shui asked, "What's the matter?" Zhong Yi said, "That was General Li. He left some instructions for us." Kai Shui giggled and corrected, "You mean he left some instructions for you, right?" Zhong Yi did not comment. The military did not give any notice to Kai Shui and had only informed Zhong Yi to pay close attention to what he said on the show. Clearly, this was because Zhong Yi knew much more than Kai Shui in the military science and research fields. In these few years, Zhong Yi had worked with a vast amount of military information that Kai Shui had no access to. Yuingyi checked her watch. It's almost time. A producer came up to them. Teachers, please get to your seats. Fellow Kai, sit over here. Fellow Zhong, sit over here. This will be a recorded program, and if you feel that something is not right, we can stop at any time. This is the microphone. Try to speak as close to it as possible so that you can be heard clearly. If there's anything else that you don't understand, feel free to ask us. Yuingyi said in a speechless manner, "What's there to ask?" The producer blinked. "Ah?" Yuingyi pointed at Zhong Yi and said with a laugh, "The person sitting in front of you has won the highest award in the hosting profession, yet you're instructing him on what to watch out for. What does he not know?" The producer facepalmed after he was reminded about this. "Hi, I forgot all about that." Zhong Yi had not been in any programs in a very long time. Furthermore, he also won the highest science and technology award and the Nobel Peace Prize this year, so a lot of people had already forgotten that this fellow used to be a professional host. Filming a television show? Recording a television show? He was the most veteran of veterans. Testing the microphone's volume. Tuning the equipment. 3, 2, 1. Recording began. On the same night. At 8 p.m. sharp. Central TV International Channel's Army Day special premiere. The program was to be shown over 3 episodes. The global satellite signals were transmitted simultaneously. There were already English subtitles as well. In China. It's beginning, it's beginning. The show has started. Haha, Teacher Zhong is here. I'm waiting to listen to Zhong Yi's professional views. Let's hope they'll reveal some secrets that we commoners don't know. Yeah, the guests that were invited onto the military shows in the past have always been laypeople. Even though they claim to be military experts, they're at most amateur military geeks. They definitely don't have any real experience with the military and weapons research. All they do is analyze the issue based on statistics and add their logic. But Zhong Yi is different. He's a real military expert who has participated in many weapons system projects. He definitely knows much more than the others, so we will surely hear about a lot of things this time. India. China's channel? Isn't this person Zhong Yi? Damn, it's really him. This goddamned fellow. Let's listen to what he has to say. Japan. Zhong Yi is on CTV International? Why is he on it? A military expert? Yes, I think he is the deputy chief designer of China's fighter jet project. Let's have a listen and see what he will talk about. America. It's the Nobel Peace Prize laureate. China has an international channel too. I guess we just didn't notice it before. China's military parade was broadcast to the world yesterday. It looked impressive. China's military strength is developing really quickly. Let's watch and see what other new weapons systems and strategies they have. Pakistan. It's our Chinese brothers. I know him, he's Zhong Yi. They're our all-weather ally. There's been a lot of clashes at the border recently. Let's see what their experts have to say about that. Canada. Come and see this. It's an interview on the military show of China. Looks uninteresting. Why's that? Don't you always watch military shows? China's military shows have always covered topics like peace, negotiations, and protests. There's nothing other than that, so it's really pointless. Should I change the channel then? Never mind, let's just have a look. Russia. The UK. France. Korea. Many countries turned their attention to the television show. Needless to say, Central TV International's viewership ratings had blown up back in China. At this moment, in addition to China, there were also some people from around the world who were watching this program. Some of them had randomly switched to this channel, while others had tuned in specifically after finding out about it through the news or comments on the internet. First, they did so because they were interested in understanding China's military strength and strategy. And second, they were interested in a fellow like Zhong Yi who dared to trip someone at the Nobel Prize award ceremony. As an international celebrity, the appeal of Zhong Yi's name was no longer limited to just within China. It had spread all over the world. On TV, Yu Yingyi said with a smile, "Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Central TV International Channel's Army Day special. Today, we are honored to have fellow Kai Shui of the Chinese Academy of Sciences on our show." Kai Shui greeted the audience, "Good evening, everyone." Next, Yu Yingyi introduced, as well as the famous scientist, mathematician, military expert, Chinese Academy of Sciences Research Fellow, Chinese Academy of Engineering's Research Fellow, and Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Zhong Yi. Zhong Yi smiled. "Hello, everyone." Yu Yingyi said, "It's Army Day again." Kai Shui said, "That's right." Yu Yingyi asked, "Fellow Kai, what are your views on the military parade this year?" Kai Shui smiled. "It was very stunning to watch, and it also made my blood race with excitement." Yu Yingyi grinned and said, "I have the same feelings as you. It feels like our country has become stronger." So next, I would like to ask a slightly more sensitive question. What is your understanding of the recent border dispute? Kai Shui turned serious and said, "It's a provocation and a very serious matter. I feel that everyone should sit down and negotiate the problem by addressing the dispute clearly based on international law, to see who is in the right and wrong. To see who are the ones to cross the borders first. The issue itself is actually very clear." Yu Yingyi nodded and turned her head. "Fellow Zhong, what is your opinion on the matter?" Zhong Yi smiled. "My opinion differs from that of fellow Kai's." "Oh?" Yu Yingyi said, "So what's your take on it?" Zhong Yi said calmly, "There's nothing to talk about. Just attack them." Yu Yingyi said, "Ah? Attack them? What kind of language was this?" Kai Shui rolled her eyes. The entire recording studio fell silent. Zhong Yi said, "We should always advocate and hope for peace. But if there are any unprovoked territorial disputes when the law is clear, there's nothing left to talk about. Just take them on. We should go out and fight. If we're afraid that such actions will start a war, that would be overthinking it. It's impossible that would happen. They're already in the wrong to begin with, so there's no reason for them to fight. Do you expect that they would hit back? No way. They wouldn't have the guts to do so, nor the strength, nor the rights based on international law. So what more can be said? Sometimes, we need to let the world see our country's determination in upholding the peace. This is why I say we should get them." Yu Yingyi was speechless. Kai Shui was speechless. The Chinese people were speechless. People around the world were speechless. Attack them? Take them on? Get them? What kind of language is this? Aren't you being too harsh with your words? Is this something that a Nobel Peace Prize recipient should say? When has anyone seen a Nobel Peace Prize laureate talk like this before? Can support us completed novel house in link below clip. Thank you for coming and love the sharing story.